that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pour up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the SIDS. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the number one fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man, on this mighty Saturday, man. How's everybody doing on you guys this Saturday morning? I know everybody's having a good, everybody's able to get them a day off. If you're essential and you have the day off, we salute you. You're the real number one draft pick. Shoot, man, for everybody else, what's up with you guys? Hey, shout out to the scouts, man. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate that. That's been in my inbox ridiculously. Since 9 o'clock, 9:01 they started. West Coast, where you at? West Coast, what's going on? West Coast, what's going on? West Coast. Did the Eagles turn your internet off? What's going on? West Coast. Did they steal your computer? Did they take your microphone? They probably took your microphone. That's what it is, boss. They took your microphone. No, man, we got kids, man. I got kids, man. They wanted their pancakes this morning. I had to get them pancakes. And I misread that schedule. I thought it started at 10, man. I thought I had an hour on y'all boys, man. God dang. But here we is. We in the building, man. We got the Bum Panthers on the board. What's up with you, boss, Cowboy?
Hey, what's up, man? I see my boy Reggie said, what's up, fellas? What's up, man? So we ain't too behind. It ain't that big of a deal, man. We good. So
hey, we just getting our commissioner on
for Dallas because it's coming up to Dallas really quick. Tight ends, I would say, is good opportunities right now. I think guards are still good opportunities right now in terms of what's the best available. So to me, if they still trying to really just improve this team, I think targeting tight end would be great right now for and a couple of tight ends. Harrison Bryant would be good, outstanding for Dallas, because then we'll have a great tight end one and a great tight end two, and then we can send Schultz on.
Send Schultz on up the water.
Somebody asked, are the Eagles going to trade Wentz? No.
Nah, they ain't gonna trade Wentz. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, if you're outside of the Eagles, like being a team that I don't like and they always make dumb mistakes, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Jalen Hurts was actually a good pick for them. I mean, if you go look at, like, if we're just not trying to be funny, if we're just trying to be like, like realistic over like what's happened to them over the last 3 years, I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as we may not want to think about it, that was a good move by Doug Peterson. That was actually a really good move by Doug Peterson, because at the end of the day, each one of their seasons in the last 3 years has ended with Carson Wentz not being able to finish it. Last year was the only season where he actually finished it, and he actually missed games last year. So it's like, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. I think they might have bit the pill a little bit and you get to burn the Dallas Cowboys at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I think Doug may know a little bit more about Carson Wentz's situation than we may know. Same thing with LVE. And they're being a little bit aggressive with making sure that doesn't happen, because, like I said, man, if Carson Wentz is your quarterback, the math says that you're gonna need a backup. So I mean, unfortunately, as much it's gonna be a dumb pick if Carson Wentz magically stays healthy for the rest of his wham. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel like you're gonna hear some. I feel like in the future I hear a Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts battle. I don't think Carson Wentz is gonna get traded, but I do believe that his injury says he don't make it through season. So I mean, his body is and Carson Wentz's biggest hater is his body. And if you go back to college, he was injury prone in college. You know what I'm saying? So, Carson Wentz got injured the year before he came to the NFL. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, if you really pay attention to his injury history, shoot, it makes sense. You feel me, boss? Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, from that standpoint, it makes sense. I think they have Dallas on their mind too much, man, in my opinion, because you so busy trying to take Dallas picks, you so busy trying to jump Dallas all the time, and you thinking about how to hurt Dallas that you're hurting yourself. I think from this standpoint, Eason would have been a way better pick than Hurts, because he's basically the same style of Carson Wentz. So when you now plug in Hurts, because you're likely going to have to do that based on Wentz's history, now your whole offense is going to have to change. It's similar to RG3 and Lamar Jackson. They picked RG3 because his style of play is so similar to Lamar, even though Lamar's way more
Carson runs the ball,
agile.
Though. Carson runs the ball. I wouldn't consider him a pocket quarterback. You go look at his rushing attempts. He runs the ball. He probably shouldn't.
He rushes, but I'm just saying in terms of the style of offense and the style of play, throwing.
But maybe this isn't. Maybe this
same height and all that kind of stuff. And I think Eason's a better player than Hurts.
I feel it. Eason's still on the board, 5th. I mean, the thing about Eason though is, like, a lot of teams. There's been. I think we might need to try to tie the conversation of why Eason ain't got drafted yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to keep saying people are better and they still sitting on the board. I mean,
that's what I was getting ready to say. Depend on your grade and what.
Hey, think about this though? What if it really isn't about Carson Wentz? What if it's about mimicking a quarterback that has basically been whooping your butt, man? Like, if you think about
that's what I said.
Like,
overthinking it.
No. But let me finish though. I'm not saying about overthinking it. I'm saying what if because Carson Wentz's contract, if you really go look at it, it's really a 2-year contract. Like, all these 4-year deals are really 2-year contracts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what if Doug Peterson is really looking at the East and saying, let's model our quarterback around a quarterback who has been consistently beating us? And you know who that is? Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying?
Overthinking it, in my opinion.
Thinking
like that, then like, why not go with a guy that's like your guy?
Because maybe they don't want a guy that's like their guy, because their guy hasn't helped them.
Change your quarterback, and you go have to change your system. Like, everything has to change. Protection has to change. Reads have to change.
That's a year from now, though.
Everything has to change. So I just think that they thinking about Dallas too much, and I'm happy. Anything that makes Philly dumb, I'm super happy.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I think they're thinking about Dallas only because Dallas Cowboys brought them in. But if you go look at their 33 visits, they brought in Jalen Hurts too. They just didn't release it. So Jalen Hurts was someone that they spoke with in their 30 visits. So that's what I'm saying. I don't see this as I see it as, the only reason why I see it's a Cowboy thing is because we put it out there that we interviewed him first. But they did their due diligence on him. They brought him in. They talked to him. They brought him in, and they brought the other quarterback in. So it's like, I mean, if you really go look at, like, I don't want to be so Cowboy centric, but if you really go look at Carson Wentz's injury history, he's only played one full season. He's played 2 full seasons in the last 6 years, and that was his senior year and his first rookie year. Other than that, he has not played a full season. So it's like, man, realistically, my thing is this: how many times do you get hurt with an injury that ends your season and you come back from that? That is like, even with LVE, man, if LVE has another one of these things where he can't finish the entire season, you gotta start looking at replacing him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe.
It's a sweet karma too in this. It's so sweet.
Who would you rather? Can I ask you a question, boss? If they're healthy, and they're at they're healthy. Say, because I don't think anything happens within the next 2 years anyway. But just say, in the last 2 years, who would you, full strength, healthy, who would you rather face, a Eason or a Jalen Hurt in divisional battles?
Yeah, I'd rather face Hurts over Eason because I really believe in Eason. I believe Eason gonna be a steal. I think Eason is one of the best underrated quarterbacks in the draft. I still don't understand. With his arm strength, his height, he is the true traditional prototypical quarterback. I mean, but with all the tools.
Go ahead.
Tools. Then his best weapon ran a 4.7. So he wasn't in a situation where he was playing with just burners and killers. He had to put that ball in good places because nobody on his receiving squad had real speed, no real separation. And he's very tough. Like, he's tough in the pocket. Like, and I really watched a lot of film on him. I never really understood why people was rating him where they was rating him.
I just remember what Carson Wentz said about him. Not Carson Wentz. I remember what Quincy Carter said about him. You know what I'm saying? After that, I went and looked. I mean, if I had to look at him right now, I think if Jalen Hurts is healthy, he still gets picked over. I still believe he gets picked over Eason. I mean,
and he could. I mean, and that's why all of this is based on how you evaluate. So it's like nobody's right until they actually get on the field. So we all at this point speculating. But remember, I've always been high. I literally put it in a book that Eason is a better version of Carson Wentz. So that's extremely high on him. So some people not. Some people think Hurts is better. And I think it depends on which Hurts show up. So if the Hurts show up that was the whole regular season Hurts, I don't want to see that Hurts because that's a real good quarterback. That quarterback went through his reads. That quarterback could beat you with his legs. That quarterback was very accurate. He was a very dangerous quality quarterback. The Hurts that I would want to see is the one that showed up versus LSU. Run.
You wrong for that.
The one read and
you wrong for that. You wrong for that. Hey, you know what's funny? That was the one game where. Hey, you know what's? Hey, remember that? You know what's funny about that game? That was the one game that I remember I watched because we were talking about him that week, and I was like, I got back on that phone. I was looking at boss like, bruh. But hey, I want to look at something real quick though. I want to look at something real quick. I want to read this real quick. We got Vikings on the clock. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, this is the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 12th, 15th round. It's going to be a lot of picks today. We're going to be moving fast. We're going to be talking about everything Cowboy-related. I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me. Hey, man, I apologize for being late. We'll be here. We in the building now. But, hey, man, I want you to show this. Look at this. This is if anything, I'm going to be honest with you, these are the dumb mistakes that the Philadelphia Eagles make. I mean, these are the real.
Harrison Bryant to the Browns.
Yeah, I seen that right now.
Boy, so.
Why the heck does it keep doing that?
They just love Baker. They giving him all the best.
All right, so I was going to say, so look at this. This is January, man. This is January this year. Carson Wentz's health remains most important to the Eagles moving forward. This is from there. This is the Eagle writer writing this. It says the Philly Eagles spend coming weeks and months thinking about what might be between the hits of Davion Clowney or quarterbacks Carson Wentz in the first quarter of the 17-0 wild card loss to the Seahawks. It goes in to talk about how Josh McCown's had to come in and play. I mean, if you look at it, man, the Eagles had to invest. They had to invest. In a goddamn quarterback because at the end of the day, man, it would just be ridiculous. And then think about this: they had to have a 40-year-old quarterback come in last year.
Yeah, man. And one thing I would say, this is so sweet karma.
What's really sad, hey boss, I want you to touch on this a little bit too. What's really sad?
Can I say this real quick? Because I've been waiting to say this for about.
Go ahead, shoot.
It's sweet karma, man, from the standpoint of all the people that's been wanting us to draft a quarterback to get rid of Dak to watch these teams actually go get quarterbacks because they don't trust their quarterbacks. So we saw that with Aaron Rodgers. We just saw that with Wentz. And so that should teach us, if we're a smart fan base, to actually not take for granted the durability of Dak. Because the only reason they drafted so high for quarterback is because they don't trust the health of their current quarterback. So we just take stuff for granted, and that should teach us right there. Don't take for granted the durability of Dak. Because if Dak had the durability of Wentz, we would be in the same situation where we would have felt that instead of getting these 3 quality picks that we got in the first 3 rounds, one of those would have been a quarterback.
Yeah, and most importantly, we wouldn't even be talking about paying Dak. Like, it wouldn't even be a conversation. And that's what I was really about. That's what I was really about to go. That's exactly what I was like. I was actually about to talk about.
So I'll rock with that question. Now, what you got?
Man, I didn't forget. But the point of what I was saying is like, when it's all said and done, Eagles should have never even paid Wentz. Like, they should have never even paid Wentz. The whole reason of the franchise tag is for situations like this. You know what I'm saying? You paid a quarterback who was hurt while he was hurt. Like, that's crazy. But what's amazing to me is your quarterback, Dak Prescott, that's a stat that people never give him credit for. And that is with them 59 games straight that he didn't played. Like, imagine that. 59 games straight. He's played more games than Ezekiel Elliott's played for the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My boy Tony says we killing it with these first 3 picks. If we take a quarterback late for depth, but Dak is that dude, I'm okay with that. It says John says if the good problem too. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I mean, imagine if Eason can make it past one more round and fall in the 5th. If he falls to the 5th, I'll take him. We took Cooper White.
I doubt he make it past the next team.
Shoot, I'd be surprised. I was surprised he was here now. He didn't think about this. New England passed on him twice.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I ain't gonna lie.
So who do you think is – hey, I want to know in the comment box, man, because, hey, shout out to my boy Harry on Periscope. We got our first Periscope viewer. I've been putting on Periscope for like 10 years now. We finally got somebody watching it. Appreciate you. Hey, real quick, because my boy says this is the Dallas Cowboys Sooners. Hey, that was going to be a good week that when we play Texas, right? But this draft it's been basically about the Sooners. We got a quarterback from the Sooners, and then we got a D tackle from the Sooners. Let's talk about that D tackle we got from the Sooners. Boss Cowboy, yesterday the Dallas Cowboys drafted a D tackle out of Oklahoma. Let's talk about him for a minute. What are your thoughts on him? What was your reaction when you first picked him up?
I mean, Dallas killed it with him, and he might be low-key one of the best value picks. I mean, we talking about a super freaky.
Now,
right? Straight up, like 6'2", 301. Once you start getting over the 3s, you don't expect 4.7s. The guy ran a 4.7.
Yeah, that means he wasn't always sick. That means he wasn't always big then. That lets me know that he
4.7, bro. 300 pounds and running a 4.7.
That means he wasn't always big. That means he was. You know what I'm saying? He probably was smaller and got big and kept his speed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and he got the film to match. So, so when you got the film, you the dog, and you're a freak. That means his first step is going to be good. He can run. We got excellent depth, so that if we lose one of those free agency DTs next year, we're going to have one guy going in his year 2, the biggest game year. Dallas is just sticking to the best player available, man. They're being responsible. They're killing it, and I think that was a super steal. And the beautiful thing is this: we low key basically got 3 first rounders,
or at least two, at least two first rounders. Because one, and
the reason why
and a second rounder
3 is because he was graded pretty much one of the top picks of the second. So that's always a bottom of the first, top of the second type guy. Anyway, they all together when you get down there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I know I'm making it sound a little bit rosier, but I at least say it like this: we haven't picked no bottom of the second or third rounders yet. So I mean, Dallas in terms of value, quality, grade, and film, man, hey. The only thing Dallas maybe could have done better, maybe with the move down in the first round, maybe. That's the only thing maybe where they could have got more of these type guys. That's the only thing maybe they could have done. But they nailing it, man. Like, in terms of staying put, you can't – in a staying put strategy, A++. If they just wanted to just volume up, I would then take off and say, hey, A minus, A.
The real
I'm just
the real
A.
question I think has to come. The Cowboys put out there saying that they turned down 3 trades for CeeDee Lamb. The real question is, what does those trades consist of? I hate the Dallas Cowboys always releasing stuff after the fact. Like, I don't give a damn about y'all trading down. I mean, not trading down. I don't give a damn about you guys releasing what you turned down. Tell me before you turn it down. I hate when they were, oh, we turned down 9 trades for them. What? Why would you let me know that? Because now I'm curious, boss. Now I wants to know. What did you turn down for CeeDee Lamb? I need to know. I will say this. I believe one of them trades was probably from the Philadelphia Eagles, so that's why it probably didn't count. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a feeling that the Philadelphia Eagles wanted Philly. I mean, put it like this, y'all. I know Philadelphia fans right now who had pictures of CeeDee Lamb as their profile picture, who had to change their profile picture. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, bro, why do you have a Dallas Cowboy player as your profile picture?
And Albert.
Oh, because you wanted to draft him.
And Albert just left, man. Just one of the freaky tight ends. He just went to Denver, bro. Ooh. So it's so obvious right now that the direction of the league with anybody that's wanting to be a contender is teams are, it's an arms race. It's an arms race right now. It's a clear arms race that teams are trying to get our quarterbacks as much as possible. So stop all the bitching that we do on Dak in terms of having weapons and needing perfect, because everybody's doing it. Like this draft is showing you they are not at all shy about giving their quarterbacks weapons. They just gave Baker.
I want me some glory hole.
Get you some glory
Another excellent tight end in Harrison Bryant. Denver, they have Noah Fant, y'all. Noah Fant. They already got him, bruh. Denver, they just added Albert, who's 6'6" and ran a 4.4 at this combine. Tight end.
Hey, do me a favor. Is Albert Huggins on the team right now?
Albert Huggins?
Yes. And you know what else we need to start doing, Boss Cowboy? We need to start putting together a list. We can start today. Start putting together a list of guys who don't get drafted, because that list is about to start up real quick too. Because you guys got to remember, right after all this is over, you're going to have the Dallas Cowboys are going to try to kill a whole nother market. And you know what that is? The undrafted free agent market. Now think about this, Boss Cowboy. Last year, did you know we actually kept more undrafted free agents than we had draft picks? That's crazy, right? Because Joe Jackson didn't even make the team. You know what I'm saying? So we actually kept more undrafted free agents. So I think about this. And ooh, boss, you know what that means, right? That means a great idea just popped in my head. Did you know with the math? You know what the math says? The math says that this is going to be a really damn good undrafted free agent class. You want to know why? Because there's a lot of good kids, unfortunately, who ain't getting drafted. Think of that.
Yeah, and Reggie Johnson said a copycat league. That's what's going on.
Think of that.
But see, Reggie, what I want people to remember is stop bitching about your quarterback. Stop acting. Dak need everything to be perfect. Like, bro, like look around the league. Just look around the league. What they doing right now? Like, you know, look, just it's so obvious, bro. Like that's a hell of a case I just said. I mean, damn, like Denver already had a solid number 1 tight end. They just added another stud tight end. They also added Jerry Jeudy to Sutton, bro.
My boy Tyrone Church says, can we trade the 4th round pick now? What do you want to trade it for? Let me know what you're trading it for. What are you trying to put? Actually, not even what are you trading. What is your end result? Whenever you trade for something, you always want to look at what's your end result. What is your end result? What do you want to get in the end result? What are you guys trying to get with that 4th pick? And I'm going to be honest with you, I think right now it's probably, trading back and getting more picks is probably going to be a little bit harder now. Why? Because it's a lot. Everybody out there want more picks now. Why? Because there's a lot of good stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? That run on offensive tackle did the NFL some good. Why? Because all them wide receivers, all them safeties. Think about this. A safety didn't even get picked. The first safety. Was Kyle Duggar the first safety taken in this draft? Are you sure?
No, I'm almost certain.
Who was the first safety taken in his draft? Because Cal was early in the 2nd round to New England.
It might have been Kyle Duggar the first safety.
Man, do you think that are you trying to tell me that Boss Cowboy and West Coast interviewed the first safety drafted in the 2020 draft on their show right here? I
think McKinney was the first safety, if I'm not mistaken.
Out of Alabama?
Yeah, I think it was McKinney, then Duggar.
All right, we're going to have to look at that. If he did, hey, regardless if he did or not, hey, I want to give my boy Cal Duggar a huge shout out, man.
Yeah, because top two is still good,
Like
man.
my boy was the top one or two. I gotta see when McKinney was drafted, but
And
my
see, one thing I also want to talk
my
about
boy
too,
Cal
man, is the
Duggar,
fact
man.
that
Salute my boy Cal
like
Duggar, man.
we just added C.J. Lamb, and everybody was like, "What's gonna happen to Gallup?" Look, we should keep him. Just look around the league. Like, look at what they just did with Denver. They added uh, Jerry Judy to Sutton, and they added the
Just
Penn
took
State.
Perline from just took Pervine from Florida. My boy Rodney. I know you pissed off. that was his boy. He wanted him bad. So we Cowboys still in the market for a running back though. Lions are on the clock right now. Lions are looks like they're looking at from everything it looks like they're looking at they're highlighting this tight end right now. Looks like we're about to have a real nice run on tight ends right now too.
Yeah, the tight end run already started. It's already and it's bad. We losing the best ones right now. The ones that's left, that's super quality is the Purdue tight end. Let me get his name. I like him a lot. I actually had him my second tight end. Let me see.
Damn. Denver dropped it.
let me go to
Denver
him real quick.
drafted two, so they got two brand new wide receivers.
Harrison Bryant would be a steal for us. He's 6'5", 245, 61 catches, 830 yards. He ran a 4.66 at the combine, bench press 21 pounds, has a 33-inch vertical, so he can't jump.
You said who?
Bryson Hopkins. I would love him.
I thought you said Harrison
super
Bryant.
athletic tight end. Super athletic tight end, like extremely athletic. So he's very smooth hips, man. So he's somebody that would fit a West Coast system as a tight end that can attack the middle of the field and stretch. He plays with a lot of enthusiasm. You can tell he loves the game. So he would be a steal left for us and would be a very good pick. We would have a great tight end 1 and a great tight end 2. So this would be the last time where we can really, really, really hang our hat on a for sure tight end.
Yeah, you still gotta believe that Patriots not Patriots, but there might still be some trade options out there too if you want to trade for something.
I looked at free agency. What's left is.
If they want to give,
good.
if
And
they
it's
still,
good.
if
Like,
OJ, if
what's
they,
left, that could be still.
if they want,
late.
if they want to give away
Ebron.
Ebron and you still got your boy OJ Howard. Like right now, we're not looking for a starting tight end. We're looking for a tight end number 2. You can't tell me OJ Howard's not the best tight end number 2 in the NFL. Instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly,
Yeah,
like the day he ain't even got to catch a pass. Instantly, the day he signed up, he's the best tight end number 2.
A couple more picks, then we need to hang it up and then just go with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? After a couple of more picks, if they run out of these tight ends, yeah, we need to start looking at going back into free agency. I'm almost like that with safety right now. Matter of fact, I'm like that with safety right now. I don't want safeties. I don't even want to look at it anymore. Right now, I would say go get Trey Boston.
Yeah, going free agency.
Yeah, and there's still some guards left. There's still some quality tackles left. But in a couple of more rounds, I'm gonna start saying go get Leary. Go get Leary because everything else then is gonna be just kind of scraping the bottom.
Man, go get Leary regardless, man. Like go get Leary regardless. Go get him regardless.
He makes sense regardless. This period, even just for competition's sake, and to shore up your line, man, because we got question marks on there, and most people, in my opinion, is kind of ignoring that we are not as steady as we used to be.
And and think about this: you're one injury away from from only having 4 offensive linemen. Let's just think about that. You're one injury away from only having 4.
Yeah.
So it's like we're really counting that everybody stays healthy, all 16 games. That's including Tyron Smith, who hasn't done it in like 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I think he played his first full season last year. What up with you, Coach?
What's going on, man?
What's up with you,
How we
man?
doing today?
We doing good, man. Colts are on the clock. Cowboys are going to be up here. We're after the Colts, if I'm not mistaken. Washington. I'm trying to go through and see what you guys drafted so far, man. What have been your thoughts on Washington and what you guys have picked up so far?
Well, I told you before, I'm going to get over the non-trade down thing, I do like, as a further research, didn't know much about the kid, but the kid from Memphis, the receiver, has got some multiple talents and attributes you can add to the team. I just want to talk about some of the wins and losses. I don't know if you guys talked about it yet, but Baltimore wins, Denver Broncos wins, Philadelphia Eagles loss. I don't know what you're thinking about that. Just some other teams that might have won and lost in the first couple days.
Man, I would say right now the biggest outside of the Dallas Cowboy, I think some teams that improved themselves just right off the top of their head. I would definitely say Denver Broncos. I think Denver Broncos now probably have one of Cowboys have a really good wide receiver core, but I mean they went Cortland Sutton as their number one. They already had the young little kid already out there. The other kid on the other side, I forget his name, on the other side of Sutton, and then they drafted 2 wide receivers today and a tight end today, and they still got Drew Luck. So that's a good Denver, and they play in a division that's not just like torchy. You know what I'm saying? So I think they play in a good division where you could be a young team and still make some noise. The team I think. Let me get my fall off team real quick, and then I'll let you do yours. And the team I think that kind of like is going in circles right now, I think is probably the Oakland Raiders. Simply because, man, I feel like you have two quarterbacks that you haven't made a decision on, and they're both veterans. They both pretty dang cheap. So it's like I think you need to but the thing about it is they're both quarterbacks that they have go in different directions. Carr is not a running quarterback. Mariota is. So it's like I don't see the old statement is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. So I don't see if you're drafting all these weapons and don't know which quarterback you're going to allow to even throw the ball to. I think that's kind of weird for the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? And I think they need an offensive line because the wide receiver core that they're building they need to have an offensive line so they can at least throw the ball down the field to them. You know what I'm saying? Or they're just going to be standing there. So I think my biggest, outside of the Cowboys, just, a team that looks like they added some weapons, got better, was the Denver Broncos. And then my loser that I just don't understand what the hell they doing is the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, so Dallas is up. So Jacob Eason
Coach
would be quarterback would be good right now as a solid backup. Then Curtis Weaver would be a super.
Coach Eason's
right
gone.
now.
Eason's gone. He just went to the Colts.
Oh, he gone?
Yeah, he's gone to the Colts.
Damn. Okay. All right. I didn't catch it. So Curtis Weaver then would be outstanding right now. He has a grade of around 52 as an edge. He would be great right now. Bryce Hall is actually still available at corner. I doubt we do it. Julian Okuro, I think that he also was picked. I might have just missed it.
Hey, boss man, how about this one? How about trade this 4th-round pick right now to the Washington Redskins for Trent Williams? Would you do it?
Trent already got traded.
Oh, he did? I missed it.
Yeah, he got traded.
Where'd he go?
San Francisco.
5th round.
Oh, and we were saying 5th. That's why I'm asking you about the 4th.
I would have done that in a heartbeat. Shane LeMix from Oregon, the guard, is still sitting there, which would be a great value pick for Dallas. Prince from Auburn would probably be absolutely the best pick for Dallas right now. Tackle.
Yep. Hey, let's talk about this. So Cowboys are with key departures. I'm going to read this off. You already know this, but Jason Garrett, Rob Marinelli, Jason Witten, Randall Cobb, Byron Jones, Robert Quinn, Travis Frederick. It's a lot of starters that left last night. A lot of guys who played a lot of time. Cowboys, I think, man, I want to give the Cowboys a salute because before we even got to this draft, we did a phenomenal job, I think, of preparing ourselves because everything that we are putting on our team is just extra. If you guys notice, is all like icing on the cake. Like nobody that we've drafted has been drafted where they have to come in. Like even CeeDee Lamb, like say for instance, if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play one snap in 2020, it's still in my if he doesn't play one snap in 2020, I don't think it sets Dallas Cowboys back, but it doesn't. It obviously it would help a lot. But one thing I love about this draft is we haven't drafted anybody. We haven't drafted anybody in this draft who I believe is going to have to be thrown directly into the fire. Everyone is going to have good mentors over them to try to secure their success. You can throw. CD Lamb in there with all them wide receivers that ain't got paid, that's trying to get paid, so that's a good look. You can throw your second round pick in there. You got Jordan Lewis, Cheetah Bay. You got guys that are they're gonna be. He's gonna go into a really good room with guys. And I'm gonna tell you something. If I had to say two people that hang out more than anybody in Boss, you can vouch for this because we didn't been in the club with them. Cheetah Bay and Jordan Lewis, they always together, always together. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good room to go in. And then think about this. The defensive tackle, he's probably going in one of the most, like, the defense, they hang out.
I'm mad at Fromm right now, too, as quarterback.
I feel it. I just want to finish my point real quick. But I just want to talk about these rooms and these guys that are going into these rooms. What is your thoughts about these Cowboys that are going into these three guys that are going into these rooms and where they can go in? Cowboys pick should be in about 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, bro. I couldn't concentrate. I was so focused on this next pick. My bad. I'm sorry.
I feel it. Are they gonna announce it yet?
Yeah, like we on the clock now, so I'm.
Well, Steelers are on the clock, so our pick should be in.
You know what, too, man? Just think. I know you're thinking sometimes outside the box, but they're competing right now. If they're trying to make a Super Bowl run with these teams over there, Kansas City, and so the DB stuff is making sense to me. Just because if you've got some front seven that can put some pressure on them, and you need some guys that can. Like a nickel and a dime that can go in there and compete and Travis Kelce or even Kittle, those guys that you have, running those hybrid type tight end flex wide receivers. I mean, maybe that's what they're thinking. I mean, what do you think about that, boss man, being a former DB?
I'm sorry, man. I'm on this board so strong right now.
Dallas Cowboys just drafted DB out of Tulsa. I think it makes sense. I mean, to be honest with you, Coach, you got two DBs on the line. We both played DB in college. So, yeah, yep. I mean, the cool thing about it is you're absolutely right. If you're trying to model your team after beating the Kansas City Chiefs, you need to also model yourself after beating the Kansas City Chiefs. And that means you need to have what? You need to have more than just two corners that can go good. You need to have at least four strong corners. Why? Because these guys are lining up 4 and 5 wide. You know what I'm saying? I played a guy in Madden late last night. I don't think he ran the ball one time, and I don't think his running back was on the field one time. The amount of 4 to 5 wides that Kansas City has in their offense and their playbook is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. Kansas City Chiefs, they poached 2 corners from our team, Orlando Standrick and Tre'Davious Ward, to come play for them. Tre'Davious Ward actually won a Super Bowl, so salute to him. So I think your cornerback room is damn near starting to be as deep as a wide receiver room. Like, you're going to get to the point where you're going to have – remember back in the day, Coach, where you'd have 3, 4 wide receivers, now they got 5? Well, now, man, you better have 4 solid corners that can play. 4 solid corners that can play.
That evolution of that tight end position, too, it makes it where, because, like, let's be real. Clinton Dix, he's going to bring a lot of experience back in the secondary and the safety position. And he's hopefully going to have that range to be over the top. But they're going to use the nickel and dime guys, inside getting those matchups. So when you look at like the San Franciscos or even the Rams or over in the AFC, now it's going to be with the Ravens and it's going to be, with the Kansas City Chiefs. And look at even what the Raiders are doing and what Denver's doing. Whoever ends up in the cream of the crop, you're going to need them guys. So I completely agree with you. I like the picks. I like to see those guys get in there and compete and kind of evolve with the game, and so they can do multiple things and then have a multiple defense. So I like the picks. I like them.
Yeah, Reggie Robinson out of Tulsa. I like Tulsa. I got my little cousin go to Tulsa right now. I'm about to hit him up. My little cousin at Tulsa right now as we speak. He play wide receiver. I'm about to hit him up. Tulsa is a –
So we so loaded at corner. I think Reggie Johnson made a very, very good point. They said, this is my hint that Cheeto moving to safety. I think you're right, Reggie. Because now we overloaded at corner. And then I'm kind of shocked because if we passed in on a Meek, I'm kind of shocked. But I definitely would have rather gone with a Meek right here out of Louisiana Tech. But that to me, you're right, Reggie. This is a definitely indication that they likely going to look at putting Cheeto at the safety.
I mean, before they put Cheeto at safety, they need to put Donovan Wilson at safety. Like, give a kid who's got an opportunity to play the safety position. Like, the worst thing I would want to see is Cheeto Beta-Wouzier get moved to safety and Donovan Wilson still not play. Like, you have a guy who plays safety, is a safety by trade, who can play the position. know what I'm saying? I'm tired of giving guys default positions just because they defaults. Like if Cheetah Bay Awuzie does get moved, and I feel that would probably happen too, since Cheetah Bay Awuzie has a higher draft pick too, and since he only has one more year on that left on. I mean, my thing is this, man. Like if you don't do good at one position, they need to stop promoting you to another one. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Make these
I
dudes
doubt
earn
this
that
gonna
thing.
be a promotion. I think it'll be for him to compete.
Oh, it had better be. It had better be.
Because I don't get that feeling from this coaching staff. They've been so common sense so far. It would shock me if they went back to good old boy politics and favoritism. I would literally be shocked. So, and I mean, he has a size. So, and we going after a certain size, 6'1", 197 pounds. He had um 60 targets at him and 4 interceptions. One TD caught on him. So passing rating when they trying to go at him is very low, 52. So I mean, just out of the metrics on him sounds very good. It's just that you know maybe Donovan Wilson gonna have to compete with Cheeto. I hopefully nobody's giving anything under this new regime, but it's just the way that they're drafting right now. It would make me assume that, or they just being pure to what they said is we're going to go with a best player available and we go figure it out. And that might be figuring it out, might be what we go do with Cheeto. Or another thing that I always felt like they was going to do was take Savion Smith. I always thought that they was going to take Savion Smith to convert him to safety because he played safety at Alabama. So to where it'd be better competition back there as well. It's just that at this point, it definitely looks like we should be at this point done with building up our back end. And I'm also shocked that we're not doing that much on linebacker. It's a lot going on that's kind of weirding me out right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think right now you got your cornerbacks in Dallas. You got Cheeto. You got Anthony Brown, who signed a 3-year deal, which is really if you look at the contract, it's really a 2-year deal. You got the kid from Alabama. You got Jordan Lewis. I mean, if you think about it, all the guys that I'm speaking about right now, even the 4 guys I just named right now, you only have one of them past next year. So, I mean, you could technically leave all those guys up, but I mean, all your main 2 starters that you have right now are going to a contract year. So, you would think you're going to keep one. I mean, if Jordan Lewis and another thing, man, as much as I love Jordan Lewis, man, Jordan Lewis might get to that point where he play himself out of Dallas, because this is going to be the first time where Jordan Lewis has an opportunity where he starts the entire year. And this should be the best Jordan Lewis we've seen. Why? Because he's going to be matured. He's been in the NFL 3 years already. So, that's also another thing you got to take a look at it too. It allows you to understand who you're going to pay when it's time to start paying people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested. Also, something else that, we keep on saying Ha-Ha. As much as, I like Ha-Ha, there's no guarantee that Ha-Ha will make this team. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have seen several veterans get brought in on 1-year deals and don't make the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, more than anything, it allows you to have options. You know what I'm saying? And I love the fact that this year the Dallas Cowboys will have options. Also, I actually like that. I mean, the Colts, I think the Colts just came up, man. They got Jacob Eason in the in the fourth round. Kind of changed the subject a little bit. They got Eason in the 4th round, and they still got Phillip Rivers, who I think signed a 2-year deal. So you basically got 2.5 years to get him ready and get him up, and we'll probably see him in about 2 years in a Colts uniform. So, I mean,
I think that makes Jacoby Brissett, as I was talking about
a
before.
trade. Yep, good point, Coach. Good point.
Yeah, expendable. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be New England or where it's going to be, but because he showed some great things he did. Was he a number 1 that you want to be there, a high end? Probably not. But he's serviceable. He could be a quality backup. But if they're bringing the new kid in here, obviously, and signing Eason, they're planning on him, being the future. So. Jacoby may become expendable at that point.
Yeah, and Bill knows.
To be honest, I think
Bill knows
Colts
Jacoby.
So far, the Colts to me probably the best so far. I think the Colts have killed it. I think the Colts have destroyed this draft. I think because remember I said Eason is a Carson Wentz. So if you put in Carson Wentz with the Colts, with that offensive line, with Taylor behind you, with Taylor behind you, and then I also said that the receiver out of USC, I called him like the
Michael Pittman,
1st round graded receiver. Michael Pittman, right? So if you look at all of that's already,
they built a whole new offense.
Know that the Colts have a young, great defense and a great offensive line,
great linebackers.
Yeah, Easton fell to the perfect situation because you're right. They could have a quarterback of the future. And what's even scarier about what the coach is, they got him in round 4, meaning you go have Prescott type of Dak Prescott type of contract with, in my opinion, Wentz type of skill set. So for the next 4 years, obviously they're going to be able to budget and continue to build.
Yeah.
Which is even scarier.
Another team, hey, shout out to my boy Will. Another team that killed it too is Ravens, man. Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
A scary team that got scarier, and we play them this year. That's what's scary about Baltimore. We play them this year. Baltimore has always had flying linebackers. They've always been known about having flying linebackers, from Ray Lewis to Mosley, who's no longer there, and then they just got the Murphy kid, the kid from Oklahoma. So I mean, we'll see them. We'll see them at some point. But yeah, man, I think they're definitely going to be not necessarily leaning on Lamar Jackson's legs as much, but man, with his size, they know he can't be running forever. You know what I'm saying?
And seeing the draft room yesterday, right, was seeing John Harbaugh in the room.
He's a hell of a coach, bro. He's a hell of a coach, man. John Harbaugh is a hell. Like, I love. Reason why I'm gonna tell you, there's little things about me that just tells me the type of coach you are, right? So the game before Lamar Jackson became the starter, right? They had Flacco back there. Flacco threw, I think, 37 times, and lost, right? The very next game, Lamar Jackson's first game, you know what they did? They ran the ball 26 times. In 1 week, they abandoned everything they knew and went with a totally different quarterback and have not went. And they haven't. I love the fact that they didn't try to make Lamar Jackson be something he's not. You know what I'm saying? And that's hella good coaching. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of coaches, they don't know how to adjust to, especially like players like a Lamar Jackson. It's hard for them to adjust because they want them to kind of fit in their sphere of what they want. But man, Harbaugh, as soon as he got Lamar Jackson, they flipped that thing. And another thing they did is they got Falco out of there so that Lamar Jackson knew this is your show. And matter of fact, you know what we're going to do to even support you? We're going to go get a backup that looks just like you, so if anything, so we can practice our plays and stuff like that. That is a total commitment to a quarterback, and they did it in like less than a year. Cowboys, 4 years later. Cowboys, 4 years later. 4 years later. They did all that in 1 year. Like, that's crazy to me. That's freaking coaching, man. That's culture. That's moving on and let's get this thing popping. And guess what? Look how quickly the because a lot of times there's drops in between quarterback as far as their success. You know what I'm saying? But look at this. You know, they actually became a more successful team. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what, West Coast, we touched on it last year. Just from the outside looking in, right? Let's talk about some of these coaches that we know from the outside looking in have built these relationships. And I'm that type of relationship guy. I think it's very important in coaching. So I'm just going to throw some names out there, right? And you think and envision some things you've seen on the sideline or maybe when the coach stuck up for the player in an interview or whatnot. So here are the names I'm going to bring out there.
Real quick, what's up, Angelina Smith? Sending you some love from North Carolina. Go ahead, Coach.
Pete Carroll.
You know I love
Mike Tomlin. Coach. Harbaugh. Right? These are just a few, right? I'm talking about the relationships that you're seeing on the side that these guys have. And I want you guys to maybe throw some names out there. Andy Reid. And just look at what's happened with those teams. And that's not to say that some other coaches have not done that. I'm just saying that you can see it and you can see the effect that it's had. And I just think you get the most out of your players when you take interest in all aspects, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. You build those relationships, you stick, your nose out there for your players, and then they buy into you,
Dang. Listen to this. Hey, Coach, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that Carson Wentz was the first quarterback in history with 4,000 yards and not one quarterback with – wait, let me tell you this. He was the first quarterback in history to have 4,000 yards passing without having one receiver go over 500 yards. If you were a receiver, would you want to go to that team?
Hell no.
You know what that tells me.
What is that? All right, time out. We have a professional catcher of the football on the line right now. This is what he professionally does. He teaches people how to professionally catch footballs for a living. You know what I'm saying? This is what he teaches. You got people that teach how to cook and clean. He teaches people how to professionally catch round objects, and run down the field with them. Coach, you have a quarterback who threw for 4,000 yards, and he does not have a receiver that went over 500 yards. Your receiver, would you want to play for him, and why would you not? What does that say about that team?
Hey, I'm going to give you a visual first. You ready? Here it goes. You ready? Oh, there it is. So what that tells me is, I mean, the system, they're throwing the ball around. It's, but it's they're not gonna showcase your talents.
Nope.
Or at least they haven't been yet. And let's look at that, man. Some of it's probably been, I hate to call it garbage yards, but just garbage yards, end of the year, playing catch up, end of the season, end of the game, playing catch up. That's not an offense you want to be the man, especially if you're coming out and you're let's talk about I wonder now how many catches Alshon Jeffrey, he plays a full season, how many catches he would actually get from Carson Wentz.
Under 70. I would say under 70.
And see,
right.
Because the numbers are already out on this.
I would say under 70.
I don't even think it's garbage. I think it's the quarterback preference. It's the same thing I was saying about O.J. Howard, why I think he was an opportunity, because Carson Wentz, 74% of his targets is to tight ends and running backs. He literally leaving on. Yes, a lot of checkdowns. It's a lot of safe throws. Now, it adds up. It adds up, especially with Ertz, because Ertz is good after the catch versus linebackers.
It's a lot of close games, though. That means you're going to be in a lot of close games. You throwing to tight ends, boy.
So everything that they actually accuse Dak of is what Wentz is. They call Dak a safe game manager. That's exactly what Wentz is. But the thing that Wentz has is he has elite tight ends. Like Dallas Goedert is a top 10 tight end, and Ertz is a top 3 tight end. So I'm not even mad at him for targeting those guys because they're going to win their matchups. So, why not? That's good football, But at the same time, the bigger question that West Coast was saying is, would you want to go there? And hell no, I wouldn't want to go there. I mean, especially when you already saw rumblings from Jeffries, who was basically co-signing and wanting Foles to actually be the quarterback because it helped his game and it helped them do better. Like they was almost out the playoffs 2 years ago until Wentz hurt his back. And then Foles came in targeting receivers, going vertical, and he was still using Ertz intelligently, like when it made sense, and it opened up the receiver's game. So no, I absolutely, and that's a crazy stat to say somebody got 4,000 yards without a receiver or outside target having 500. That tells you right there he does not target his weapon. So the thing I hate is they say he was playing with bums. It's like, obviously, if you gave him Moss, he wouldn't have used them.
He wouldn't have threw the ball to him. And you know what that also says? Doug Peterson was smart by not picking CeeDee Lamb. You want to know why? Because it would have been a waste. You don't throw to him anyway.
Thank you. Right, you don't throw to him anyway.
Boss, sometimes you could be like simply stupid. Like it was probably like for y'all fan base, what would you rather have? CeeDee Lamb on your team and him not get the ball, or CeeDee Lamb just not be on your team?
Yeah, and that's actually why I think their pick was not that bad, like in terms of Rager.
Because you don't use him anyway.
Yeah, and Rager he's not gonna be a number one. They using him to replace Jackson, so he's gonna be that vertical guy.
Yep.
But he's not gonna be that number one target.
And think about this, boss. Think about the routes that we liked at Rager. We liked it. The kid from TCU on. They're like intermediate routes. Like it's nothing that's like gonna really stretch the field. I liked Rager because he reminded me of Dez Bryant. Right now, of what I think Dez can do right now. Yeah, but that's not a guy that I'm trying to go 60 yards down the field with. No, you're gonna catch Rager at some point. Like unfortunately, you know what I mean, boss. Like if he take off, somebody in that backfield should catch him at some point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even the wide receivers that they get, they're almost like tight ends. Like they're the tight end that Gabriel Davis, UCF just got drafted to the Bills. He's gonna be over there with Cole Beasley. That's gonna be a good pickup for them. He got moves.
Oh, that's a real good pickup.
With Cole over there with Cole.
The boy just went to the Buffalo, coach. Gabriel
with
Davis.
Cole Beasley over there. Cole gonna have him looking nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Because they're similar players. Let me hear some, coach.
Pick. That's a value pick. And one thing, you guys, I want to go back to that Carson Wentz thing just for a second. Imagine if you take away all of the over 25-yard plays that Deshaun Jackson had, just him. Then what would it look like? It would look even worse.
Yep.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because he just with his flat out speed made some plays. You take him out of the mix, and I guarantee you that average is going to be. I mean, I don't know what the per. I'll take a guess. If the per pass average, you take that out of the mix, it's under 8 yards.
Yeah.
And I
You know what
think
I'm
it's
saying?
already under 8 yards. If my
Right, it's
memory
going to be bad under pick over.
is ahead of Wentz per target and per throw. But your point is absolutely right. Like, if you take out the explosion early plays of Jackson, Wentz per average per throw crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just be like, if you just go look at that, I mean, I ain't gonna say I accidentally watched a bunch of Daniel Jones his last year because I had a buddy's son that was playing there, so I watched a couple games of him, so I kind of knew about him a little bit coming in the league. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in them last couple games, I think Daniel Jones looked like a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was trying to throw that game away. That last, because I remember, boss, I watched the last game. I didn't even watch the Cowboy game because I was like, it doesn't make no sense for me to watch the Cowboy game because if they don't win this game, we're not going to the playoffs. So I didn't even watch the last game of the season because I was watching the Philadelphia and the Giants game. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you go look at the two quarterbacks that day, Daniel Jones looked like a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. Flat out. The only thing that Daniel Wentz did wrong is he fumbled the damn ball on that goddamn remember he fumbled the ball? Oh, my God, I almost cried. And it really wasn't even his fault. It was the center overhiked the ball. But literally, like, they were striking on him. Carson Wentz was in a duel-out match with a rookie quarterback and was damn near losing.
And the sad part is this, West Coast.
Boss, you remember that game, right?
Yeah. And the sad part is this, to echo your point. When the same people that they call garbage and carrying trash, people forget Boston Scott was the player of the game.
Oh, my God. He dogged him.
The NFC player of the week that week.
That
same
week.
game you talking about. So how they saying that Wentz carried him, but the player of the game was
a running
Scott.
back.
So Scott carried him. Like, it just confounds me. Like, how in the world do they see
oh my God,
the
I remember
total
that.
opposite but say Wentz carried him? It's like they came out that week and said the player of the NFC was Boston Scott.
Yep. I remember because he had the 2 touchdowns. I remember because he had the 2 touchdowns.
The whole drive was basically Wentz dunking it off to him.
Yep.
And he was just
going crazy.
Killing the linebackers for New York.
Yep. Oh, my God, I remember. Hey, I remember because me and Boss, we watched that game because I was like, Boss, I'm not watching the Cowboy game. Why? Because it don't matter.
We got to watch these guys go lose or not. That's what we was trying to see. And I was getting mad because they kept hyping up Wentz. It's like Wentz is not doing anything. Like, he's
an average quarterback, bro.
Boston Scott, and Boston Scott was killing. But then when they win the game, who they give all the credit to? Wentz.
Well, they gave Boston Scott some love too. Remember,
he's carrying all of these bombs. Look at what Wentz is doing by himself. He's putting a team on his back.
Appreciate you, Curtis.
No,
I want me some glory.
He was throwing it down the field. That's what Nick Foles was doing. He was throwing it down the field.
Nick Foles throws it down the field.
Yeah.
Man, my thing is this: have you ever heard? Whenever you have a team coming out about a player, man, that ain't good. Philadelphia. Yeah. At the end of the day, Philadelphia Eagle fans, I think Philadelphia Eagle fans are so dumb that they go mad at Jalen Hurts, and it's probably gonna be Jalen Hurts that's gonna end up saving their butt. Because if you still on that, we got a quarterback, you're a dumb Philadelphia Eagle fan because you don't. Like, your quarterback is probably. I would love to know the exact amount of games he's played, but Carson Wentz don't play. He don't finish seasons. He don't finish games. He don't finish them.
Yeah, and I don't see how nobody understands that it's.
And and when you say that about Dak, they be like, okay, they don't even register that.
Quarterback in the second round, you got problems. And you just signed one on a massive contract.
Last year.
Problems, man.
Last year. Not the year before last. Last year.
Can you imagine if we signed Dak and didn't get a quarterback in the second round?
Bruh, imagine when we signed Tony. We signed Zeke and signed Tony Pollard in the 4th round, and they were saying that Tony Pollard was going to take his job. And that was the 4th round, boss. The 4th round. Remember that? Remember that?
Got Cameron Clark, man. I wanted him bad. Tackle. Golly. Okay.
My boy from Oregon is still on the damn thing.
Killing it, man.
My boy from Oregon still out there. The
Yeah,
guard.
the Vikings are picking now, right?
Yeah, Vikings are picking.
So, I mean, come on. At some point we got to figure out why some of these guys, when this happens, are still there.
They need to take from, man. Stop letting Kirk Cousins bend y'all over, man. Come on, man.
Antoine said, Antonio Medardi Sr. said, what do you think about the last pick, the corner we picked up at 123? I mean, he attacks the ball, man. He has all the measurables that you want to see, a tall. So there are certain secondary coaches that like taller, rangier corners. Like they said that about Chris Richard, but it actually didn't show on the field because his longer corners was actually on the practice squad, you know? So the philosophies that Chris Richard preferred tall corners never manifested. But how they're drafting right now is showing you that the guys that they're targeting, they want to have some size and some range. And both Diggs and the previous corner we just got, Robinson, they turn around hunting the ball. They're not trying to stop you from making the catch. They trying to get the ball, both of them. So it looked like that our scouting team, Antonio, actually went into this draft like we're looking for corners that's going to really up our turnovers. So
Yeah.
that's what we have. I mean, and I like the pick. It's one of those things to where Dallas looks like they're just being prudent. Like, cause you would think we would go, cause I wish we would have got this guy Cameron Clark that just went off the board, because I still think we need to rebuild and refill our offensive line. I comped him to Eric Williams. I mean, that's how high I was on Cameron Clark. I would have loved that pick over the corner, especially because we got a big, deep corner room with Chris Westry and a lot of other people that's still waiting in the wings. But to Dallas, that's the guy we had basically graded high. So they took him, and they go figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go look at the guys, if we're going to look at the teams that we're playing this year, 2020, we're going to be playing some passing teams. So it's like, that was a great point what we talked about earlier about, in 2020, you need to have as many corners as you have wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? You need to have as many access to them, because you're going to play teams. You're going to play, and you may not need them all 16 games, but you need them within arm's reach. You know what I'm saying? Because there might be a time where you might see a time where some of these guys might be inactive, and then they won't be active for this game. Why? Because we won't need as many corners for this game. But depending on the teams that we play, you're going to need them. And you guys also got to remember something that we're forgetting. We got under this new CBA, you get two extra people to add it to your roster. One's going to be allocated to the offensive line, but the other one will be allocated to whatever you want. So it's like just thinking about adding another receiver on the roster for game day, or adding another corner on that roster for game day. So it's a good point.
Yeah, those two players too, just like you added to West Coast, for all the fans that might not know in depth. Those guys are going to add to your special teams with playing the gunner position.
Yep.
On the punt team, or covering kicks, and that's going to add a lot of value to the special teams. So that,
I got
that new CBA with extra players, and now getting those extra DBs, they're going to get their reps, and they're going to get those spots in the game on special teams where they can add, some great tackles and blocking and things like that.
So people can stop asking me, does Dez play for special teams? No, but the other two people we can bring on team, they do. Hey, I got a supporter on the line, man. Let me know who you are, how long you've been supporting, and ask your question or say your statement. What's up with you, man?
What's going on, West Coast?
What's up with you, man? What's up with you, man?
But I've been following the show for a little bit now, and I agree with a lot of stuff that you be talking about on here. So why not support? Why not support? So, but I just want to say something real quick, and just really just look back on this draft, and I really feel like we're gonna come out so much more better after this draft, that our team is gonna be so much more elevated after this year, it's gonna be crazy.
Shoot, I heard that, man. What do you want? What position do you want the Cowboys to pick with their next next pick?
With our next pick, man, we definitely need to address something on our O line. We definitely got to go O line. Now that we went 2 CBs and a wide receiver and a DT, we got to go offensive line next.
Shoot, I heard that. Well, shoot, man, I appreciate your support and I appreciate your question. Let's look at some offensive line and see what we can do for you, man. We'll see. We're gonna talk about that right now.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Shoot, what y'all think about that? Grabbing an offensive line in this next pick.
I think he's right.
I was thinking O-line, and I wouldn't be surprised at tight end also, but yes, O-line would make sense.
I was thinking O-line is next in that last pick, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, I'm trying to be nice, but I was thinking that O-line was going to be the next one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's still some good ones left, though, but
who's the best available at that O-line?
That out the way. Sometimes you just want to get the pain out the way. You just want to be like, okay, good.
Hey, my boy Lance Ball says he has a nephew named Damon Mitchell at Baylor. Right now he's balling. What position he play, and when can we get him on the show? No, I'm playing with you. What position he play? Hey, coach, man, where you be coaching at, Lance?
Signed Leary.
Coach, who just signed Leary?
No, he said, I think we signed Leary. I hope you right, bro.
Oh, my God, I'm looking at that
I will feel good. I'll be like, okay, now I can fully go to sleep. I'm ready for the season. Because right now I'm still concerned about it. I don't think we've addressed it enough at all. And, when a line break down, that makes Dak a totally different quarterback.
That makes everybody a totally different quarterback.
Some people manage it well better. That's why I always put Watson over Dak.
Appreciate you, Miss Tony.
Because Watson is.
I want me some glory
when it comes down to buying time in that pocket. That's just not Dak's game yet. I pray to God that's what he come back with across the offseason, where he has a real perfect feel of the pocket. Because I think that's also a gift. Like Romo had that just feel for the pocket. Aaron Rodgers is magical in the pocket. And Watson, I think in order, Watson is better, Aaron, then Romo. No, I'm sorry, Watson, Romo, then Aaron in terms of navigating the pocket.
Yeah.
So if Dak can add that to his game, I wouldn't be as concerned about the line breaking down.
Can't leave Russell Wilson out of that conversation, though. I mean, he might not be up there.
How did I do that? You're right. Then
up there,
he's up there for sure on navigating that pocket. What would you rank him out of those 4 quarterbacks, Coach?
You're talking about with Aaron, Russell,
Aaron, Watson, Russell Wilson, and Romo. Because those are the people that come to mind that was just magical on
at
the
the
line
pocket
is breaking down, but they
what were those 4 quarters?
Aaron, Romo, Watson, and then Russell.
Russell by far.
Russell, you think?
Bruh, think about this. What quarterback has been sacked the most? Russell. And Russell still puts on a clinic.
I put Aaron's third. Aaron's third, and Deshaun's fourth, but Deshaun's gonna get it. He's had some issues with the line that haven't really helped him out.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean? And that kind of wears on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he had the worst line.
And think about this, boss. He got injured.
And won 9 games with it.
Deshaun Watson got injured, had a season-ending injury. In the very next season, they gave up 64 sacks. In the season that he came back from an injury, his offensive line allowed him to get sacked 64 times. The reason I know is because my quarterback got sacked 54 times that time.
Yeah, and that same year, Watson still won 9 games straight.
Exactly, but think about that. After a season-ending injury, the very next season, you get sacked 64 times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So we had a Houdini, because see, those quarterbacks like that, I would call all of them Houdini, right? That's the people with that skill set is where I start kind of buying that you can carry a team when you have that particular skill set, because that's a very dangerous skill set.
Basketball, probably
that
basketball
can
players
take
too.
A sure sack and turn it into a 15-yard game. That's Watson. That's Aaron. That's Russell, and that's Romo.
And think about this: all former basketball players, all of them, all four guys you just named right now, are all former basketball players.
Good point. Yeah, good point. It's something about the sport that transfers to that field
Hey,
and that peripheral vision of feeling it. You know.
I got a question. I want to throw to Coach. Coach, right now, who's the best quarterback in the state of Texas? There's only 2 teams in the state of Texas.
The best quarterback in the state of Texas.
Oh, or who would you? Who's the best quarterback? I guess you could say it. You can split it up 2 ways. Obviously, we're talking about the Houston Rockets, Houston Texans, and the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, listen, I really think Deshaun is real special. I just got to go by, you got to put everything in perspective. And just because of the lack of playoff wins right now in Dallas and Houston getting there, I'm gonna go with Deshaun out of the 2.
Hey, you ain't that's boss got boss say it all the time too.
Yeah. And it's only really because of the navigation pocket X factor. That's it. If it was just on throws for throws, I say Dak. If I said clutch moments, I say Dak. Slightly, but still Dak in that area. Mental toughness, I would say Dak. But that navigation in the pocket just is so deadly when everything breaks down. Like, it's so many times you'll see Watson spinning out of stuff. Yeah. And
I think Watson is a better athlete than Dak Prescott. Like, if you just say, I think he is a better athlete. You know what I'm saying?
No
Yeah. And that's again a 1A versus a 1B.
But
too.
Dak
So
has better durability. But think about this: Dak has better.
We're not saying this much better. Oh, he way.
Hey, boss,
better.
and we're not talking. And think about this: we're not even actually talking about like actual totality. We're talking about individual traits. Because think about this. Because think about this, boss.
Yeah,
think about this. Deshaun Watson's athleticism is actually kind of also a hindrance to him. Why? Because he's smaller and he's more injury prone than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott isn't as athletic, but he never misses a game. So it's kind of like, and then think about this. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys, with Ezekiel Elliott on your team, even as much as I want Dak to run the ball, but with having Ezekiel Elliott run it on your team, your quarterback shouldn't be running the ball that damn much. Like, why are you paying a running back 19?
A better improviser.
But because he has to, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And think about this, man. It's like, I really want to know. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Deshaun Watson's career is about to be like a BC and AD, or AH, before Hopkins and after Hopkins. Because, bro, Hopkins saved his skin. And I'm going to tell you this right here. If Hopkins isn't on the field when we played them 2 years ago, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Houston Texans.
Mopped them up.
We mopped them, bro. It was Hopkins, bro.
Yeah.
It was Hopkins that got loose for 57 yards, and Anthony Brown, who's still on the team, missed a tackle, and Xavier Woods, who's still on the team, made a tackle. LV had to run 52 yards to catch him from behind.
Yeah.
That was Hopkins. So that's why I think it's like, man, Deshaun Watson's career is really gonna, because like Deshaun ain't never not had a number one receiver. Dak has had to have a number one, has gone through that.
There was a period of time to where Dak did not have that number one.
Yeah, so it's like I'm very curious to see what Hopkins does when he is because we think about this. As of today, as of this year, Deshaun Watson wasn't the best player on the offense. It was Hopkins. Hopkins was the best player on their offense. Now Deshaun Watson is gonna be like every other quarterback outside of, well, man, boy, Dak got some pretty damn good help, but he's gonna be like everybody else, man, where you're the best player on your team, on their offense, and you have to make it work. So I see a lot more running from Hopkins, and man, that Fuller kid is gonna have to really step up for him, man. He really got to step up. They were smoking for leading Hopkins left, and he's like you said yesterday, boss. They lost Hopkins because he didn't get along with the coach. I'd fire the coach. I'd let the coach go.
And Deshaun didn't have anybody like Zeke either. I mean, that's a whole nother. Zeke is in a class of his own. I mean,
They gave him the number one running back free agency when he came in. And that was Lamar Miller. He just got hurt.
Yeah, and Duke was good.
Yeah,
Duke
so they tried to.
Yeah, they committee was a solid committee.
Yeah, they tried
to. They had running back by committee, but it worked. So I wouldn't give that big of an advantage to Dallas in terms of Zeke, because the committee was super solid with the Texans.
And they paid for Lamar. I mean, Lamar Miller. They went out and paid for him. I remember
they paid him $25 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, they paid him $25 million, man.
And
for the
Lamar was nice, but I mean, just injury prone like a mug.
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the Houston, y'all gonna find out who your quarterback is, man. I mean,
I still think he gonna be fine because it's not as good as Hopkins, but Cook is a pretty good replacement. And
yeah,
it's, to me, it's
for Hopkins.
yeah, for Hopkins, and I think he's the type of receiver that fit him as well.
Yeah,
'Cause,
but
see,
what
Watson
happens
is
to
a
those?
vertical
What happens to those breakdown moments though? Hopkins was his breakdown guy. Like, cause on that play that he beat us, man, that was a broken play.
Yeah, yeah. I just think Watson is that good. To where
We gonna see.
I think it's gonna be a knock because see all of the guys that they have now all have injury history.
Yep.
Right.
Fact. Randall Cobb. Fact.
Likely might be out of 4 or 5 games. That happens every year. Cobb was healthy with us, but he just missed 1 game. And then Cook, with the concussions.
You never know. You never know.
So it's gonna be some time this year. See, the thing about Watson, they sleep on too. I mean, to your point, West Coast, that they sleep on Hopkins, durability.
Never missed a game.
Never missed a game and played in 99% of the snaps, bro.
Yep.
For years.
For years.
Bro, for the season. Like, how do you play 99% of you might as well be the quarterback?
Yep.
I mean, damn, like you're right. That's what people taking for granted, in my opinion.
That means Hopkins out there on the run plays too, because a lot of receivers be out unknown. That means he's out there on run plays too.
Yeah, you never had, and yeah, he was a consistent threat on run plays too. So, and they tried to throw in a major committee, and I think that was smart because you can't trust any of their health. But when their health start breaking down, the theory that they put on Dak is go test on Deshaun Watson. The theory that a quarterback's supposed to carry a team. Well, one thing that you said, West Coast, is true. He always had a number one.
Yeah.
So
hey, boss, I'm gonna
look
tell you
at
what. You know what this is looking
that,
like.
and that offensive line is breaking down. Let's see if you still the same.
Hey, boss, you know what this is looking like? This is looking like Deshaun Watson's 2018, where the organization say, "Okay, we've been believing all this stuff everybody been saying about you. Let's see if you can do it." Because guess you know what they also just opened up. You know what we just also opened up? Something we need to talk about. Houston just put it out that they just started contract negotiation was one Deshaun Watson too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they really they want to. I mean, it's gonna be very curious to know. I'm very curious to see if they get not even just to talk about the talents and stuff, but I'm really curious to see if Deshaun Watson because they just said they started a negotiation. I'm curious if the Cowboys allow Deshaun Watson to get an extension before Dak Prescott. That would be a monumental fail on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and then it's gonna help Dak so much because I guarantee when Watson signs, it's gonna be a 3 or 4 year deal, and that's gonna help Dak.
And the number's gonna be big.
All he's asking for. He's like, I'm not trying to get, it's at this point, it's not the money. It's the fact that Dallas is trying to rip him off by having him have a long-term deal. And and he's not doing it, and he shouldn't do it. It would be stupid. Because see, this is the thing. Dallas should have paid Dak 2 years ago, but instead they made him play through his whole contract. So 4 years when everybody else was paid in 3 years, right? So Goff was paid after 3 years. Wentz was paid after 3 years. Carr was paid after 3 years. Matthew Stafford was paid after 3 years. So you paid him late, or getting ready to pay him late. Then you're going to want to give him a contract that's going to make him get into the new television revenues late. It's like, damn, he's like, you trying to screw me both ways. You burning my counters on both ends. It's like, come on, man. You already got me on my first contract. Show me love on my second contract by treating me not better than the other guys. Just treat me like the other guys, right? Treat me like the other guys that have 4-year contracts. Did you see Philly give Wentz a 6-year contract? No. Did they give Goff a 6-year contract? No. We all just saw the documentary where it came out that Pippen signed a 7-year contract, the same thing that Dallas offered, and they said if he would have broke that up before the television revenues exploded, he would have made $90 million. If he would have just broke it up into just, 3-year contracts like most people was doing at that time. That Dak is seeing that, and he's saying, I'm not trying to be Pippen.
And think of the 1-year contracts that came out that really, like Kirk Cousins, when you seeing that and seeing how much he set the market for everybody. And
Yes.
you can go back before. I mean, I know it's a while back, but when the whole thing happened with Sam Bradford coming out and he got paid as a rookie, that opened up the gates for the quarterback position, and they didn't want to pay him, coming out of college like that. But now, so what do people do? Like Kirk Cousins, okay, I'll franchise tag, signed 3 years, 84 million, 90 million. And you know what? The simple fact is Dak is going to get paid. Now it's a matter of when. Does it happen? Is after the draft in the next couple of weeks? It should. That'd be a good statement. But I agree. I completely agree with you. He wants to be, considered and get paid for what he's worth. And unfortunately, the market gets set. Whether you believe it or not, the market gets set, and that's what you get paid. And if they weren't going to do it, he would get paid somewhere else. That's just how it goes. So,
Yeah, and I mean,
Just FYI, the last great tight end just came off the board from Purdue. Bryce Hopkins gone.
boy got the. All right, so you got the Minnesota Vikings. Who they just taken? They just took Michigan State cornerback Josiah Scott.
Yeah.
P. Ryan from Florida went to the Jets, huh?
Yep.
And the Rams got Bryson
So
Hopkins.
yeah, good look. They
that's
gonna have
another separating tight end.
Yeah.
He's a separator. So it's clear the Rams. It's so clear what the Rams target. They target people that can win with routes. He's a separator.
Well, I mean, if you go look at Sean McVay, go look at the Rams highlights, man. You don't see no contested catches. All you see is guys running down the field wide open.
Yep.
And across the field.
That's all you don't see nobody. You don't see no contested catches. None. All you see is wide open. Just this guy going that way. That guy. I'm like, what the hell? Where's the defender at? That's all you see.
Taking the corner and the safety, and then someone coming across.
Yeah. Like I almost feel like the Rams. Like the play is look for the mismatch, throw it to the mismatch. Like that's what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no, look for the mismatch, throw it to the mismatch.
Yeah, and they do. You right, West Coast. They do a lot to help the receivers. Like they do a lot of legal picks
Shoot,
and stuff.
McVay, man.
They do a lot of crossing paths where they try to get the defenders to kind of run into each other and stuff like that. They're very intentional in trying to help the receivers get open.
Yeah.
They don't just say go get open. They help you with their schemes get open.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something else. We made this comment about another team, but I think the Rams are another team that are a quarterback away. Because man, Sean McVay with like a guy who could really put that thing in there, man. They be on another level, man. They be on a whole nother level.
I think the Rams need a true burner at the receiver position now to go with that, just to fit their scheme and to help out Jared Goff and to get those crossing routes open. Now we know they let go of the running back. Who are they
let Brandon Cooks go off too, didn't he?
Yeah, who are they going to hand all their carries to now?
Derek Henderson and Ayers.
But do you think it's a running back by committee, or do you think that it's back to that 18 to 20 carries for Henderson?
Give me 1 second.
And I asked that for a reason, because I think that if you have, a burner that can take off the top of the coverage, now obviously you got less safety in the box on that side of the field. He's going to be helping out over the top, which opens up the intermediate routes for the slots, whether they're running the outs or coming across the field like we always see him do. And I think that this is where I agree with you, West Coast, back at the McVay. He does a really good job of pre-snap shifting and motions, or even after the snap, influences with like a back end motion where it affects a D end, and now the D end comes up and they just toss it right over his head for a guy crossing. And if you got a guy running down the sideline that can take someone down the field, well, now that just gets you those yards after catch instead of catching the ball, 8 to 12.
I want me some glory.
Sorry about that.
You know what I'm
Just had to let y'all know I was back. My bad.
It's all good. You know what I'm saying, boss? You hear that?
Say that one more time. I was looking up something.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if they got a real stretch the field guy, burner down the field, now he does a real good job, McVay does, with the pre-snap motions, and then the actually post-snap behind the line of scrimmage motions where like it affects the defensive end to come up, and you see him all the time throwing the crossing route at about 12 to 15 yards. And if that backside safety had to get over the top to help the burner, that's where you get that extra 15, 20 yards of running instead of, being right there and getting tackled for 12 to 15.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that make a lot of sense. For the Rams to add a burner with the schemes that they putting together, all the time because right
Chiefs
now,
just took safety Lajarius Sneed, Louisiana
Snead,
Tech. Lajarius Sneed, Louisiana Tech. Damn, they just drafted. They have God. I mean, so what? I mean, again, you have a Pro Bowl. You have two Pro Bowler safeties.
these gaps are getting wider and wider. They're getting wider and
Hey, I
wider.
want to talk
Like
about
he
something.
had a 337 grade from CBS.
That's crazy. I want to talk about something, man. I want to talk about the concept of like teams who already have great players and continue to fill them like a team like the Chiefs, man. You would think that the Chiefs, I mean, even though this is still later in the round, the fourth round is a still pretty good pick for a safety. They got Latron Trailwill last year in the second round. They got Tyrann Mathieu in free agency. You know what I'm saying? So they basically got two Pro Bowler safeties. What do you think about these teams that, even though they have great players, they still invest resources and money into those positions? Whereas in the Dallas Cowboys, think about this: we have the offensive line has basically been the pinnacle of our team, but we haven't really invested any we don't invest money into the backups. You know what I'm saying? So, what are y'all thoughts on that and that mentality as an organization?
You want to take that first, Coach?
Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, I guess it depends on the production that you're getting from the guys that you have first, because some of those guys that you have, whether it's not necessarily the free agents, but some of those guys that got like 2 to 3, almost 5 years in, if they're not only producing a role on the special teams, but for instance, let's say corner, they're playing a nickel back position and they're looking, like they've come into their own and almost elite, not necessarily all pro, but making a lot of plays, then you might see them, go and invest in other positions for, i.e., let's look at like Kansas City. They didn't build their defense as much recently, and they were building the offensive scheme. But if it's in the other side of the ball, where now you got those guys that are really elite on the offensive side of the ball, then you might see them picking up and I think that's what you're seeing. If I answer that question, you're seeing them now getting some of those guys on defense. But I think what you're asking, and I do think it's interesting, is you have to find the right way to recycle your guys so that when you do recycle them and you plug and play, that if you need to dump some money because they're a little bit older and now those other guys are coming up, it's all about the contracts that you're paying, because nowadays you can't pay a lot of money for everybody. There's just not enough to go around. We know the quarterback's going to get paid. Your top receiver is going to get paid. Your top DB is going to get paid, your top tackle, and your top DM. After that, you got to kind of spread it around. So you got to figure out, we're going to recycle the role players or we're going to recycle some of the others. So, I mean, that's my take on it.
And you right, West Coast. You see that around where you see a team. The Chargers is doing that currently, right? They had a mountain of quality safeties, and they keep drafting into
Good point, boss.
right? We saw Buffalo do it. Both of their starting safeties are solid, and they'll draft into it more. Like they picked up last year Malik Hooker, who I was very high on as safety, right? And so you see teams that are pretty much have solid starters, but they'll still draft what's the best available, even if it's putting another safety or another corner or another. We just did it, I would assume. And I think what's going on, I think it's a mix of what Coach said, to where it gives a team options, especially if you get a guy that's aging. We can then let that guy go on, right, and go younger and keep moving and stay under a cap budget, right? And it's really truly teams to me that's saying we're not passing up the best player because we have a need right here. We're going to get this player, and some teams say we're going to figure it out. Like, so we so cornered up right now, we might just have to start switching some guys around, and that might be how we figure it out. Buffalo did the same thing with Saron Neal. Saron Neal came into the draft as a fifth rounder into a deep Buffalo room of safety. So guess what they did? They moved in the corner, and now he's playing nickel, right? So he's the starting nickel for the Bucs, and he's doing great. They figured it out. They was like, we not passing up on this player, period. We go figure it out, you know? So we'll start him off, he'll be safety, but then we go keep figuring out how to get this man on the field. And that's exactly what they end up doing. So I think it's teams that's really being true to BPA is why you see situations to where deep safety rooms keep getting deeper, like what we just saw with Kansas City.
And you know what, boss, too? I left one major point out, too, right? If you go that philosophy that you're saying and taking that best available, let's say you have the couple safeties like you're saying and you draft another one, and now you hit, and he's big time, everything that you thought. Well, now you got kind of like an investment. This is a business. So whether you trade somebody, whether you already said dump somebody, if you hit because you've got the best available, regardless of the position you had, 2 of something, now you got 3. Now you just increase the amount of money that you can make for your business because you can get something for them.
Yep.
So that's something I didn't say, but I think that's too what some of that business sense is coming into these guys when they're making some of those picks.
And think about this. It also allows you to have situations like this, like a Buffalo, who a guy like Jordan Phillips, who was behind another guy that was just balling out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then it allows you to kind of determine, who you want to pick, who you want to keep. So it's like, and it also allows that mentor system. Like, and also the Cowboys kind of listen because now with CeeDee Lamb, think about this. CeeDee Lamb is going to get mentored by Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good guy to be in front of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you think about it, when Dez Bryant got put on this roster, if I'm not mistaken, we had Miles Austin. Miles Austin was our number 1. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we had a pretty damn good wide receiver core then. Dez Bryant came in as a number 3 and a punt returner. So I kind of see why I ain't gonna lie, y'all. After I saw how many touchdowns CeeDee Lamb scored, like, I love me some Dez, and I'm still firmly on the Dez train. But if we won't get Dez Bryant, we're gonna be all right. Y'all do know that, right? We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, like right now, Dez Bryant is just more or less just because I want to throw up the X on y'all at some point. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like the Dallas Cowboys, all right. I'm gonna tell y'all, but I don't want. I'm gonna tell.
On the clock.
I know, I see him. I'm gonna tell y'all this secret, man. Y'all don't tell nobody else. Make sure y'all don't tell nobody else this secret. I'm gonna tell y'all, right? The Dallas Cowboys fixed their scoring problem. I mean, you get a guy who scored by himself, scored more touchdowns than both your starting wide receivers. You fixed your scoring problem. You know what I mean? And the nice thing about CD, if you look at him, he's a guy that's he's a man. He's a guy that's he's a space eater. You know what I'm saying? Meaning a guy who can create his own space, do it only. He don't need a route to do it. He can do it. What, you know what I'm saying? And that's why he's able to do that without having elite speed. A guy like CD, a guy who doesn't have like 4.2, that 4.3 speed and still do what he does, that lets me know he can get his own space. Because Amari Cooper ain't no super burner either. You know what I'm saying? Amari Cooper ain't no super burner, but I'm going to tell you, within 5 feet, Amari Cooper will sing you to sleep with them feet. Him and Ocho, a lot of Coach Ocho Cinco has some nasty feet too, right?
He sure as heck did. You know what
I'm saying? Wasn't the fastest dude, but he'll sing you to sleep with them feet.
He trained with boxing pros on purpose to get his feet right, get his hands right, get off the releases. And yeah, I mean, you need good feet. I saw a report out there, a question, I don't know if you guys saw it. Someone was questioning about CeeDee Lamb being able to play inside.
I mean, you let us know. You let me know, Coach.
He was too tall, and I'm thinking, if you got feet and you got flexibility and you can move, what does too tall have anything to do with playing inside? I mean, he can run straight down the middle if he needs to, but also he's so fast or
Antonio Gandy.
Yeah.
That's who y'all just got, just letting you know. Sorry, Coach.
No, I seen it. Now, if it's best available, good job. That's my answer to that pick. If it's best available. If it's not best available, I
think Coach checked out after that second pick, man. I'm just keeping waiting.
Yeah,
Coach is just like, this is why I need to be in management. Like,
it's true. I mean, it is what it is. But no, back to the CD thing. I'm thinking, so why can't you create a matchup on safeties and linebackers inside with all the formational dysfunctions and wide receiver motions you're going to put teams in? I think it's a great pick. And we left something out there, right? If he's tall and he's big and he's strong, okay, he probably can block in the middle too.
Yeah.
So that's going to help the run game.
Yeah. And then my thing is this: why do people have this misconception that slots all have to be like 5'10"?
That's a lie.
I don't know why. Like
it's teams that some teams use big slots.
But
man.
you get what I mean, boss? Like,
Yeah,
how tall
heard
is he?
that
6'4"?
before,
Oh
too.
no, he can't. He can't be a slot. He can't be a slot.
Oh, you can't play slot.
What?
Now, I will say,
LeBron can run a point because he's 6'8".
Wait, what? Go ahead, coach.
No, LeBron can run point.
It is a lot different.
Man skills.
Go ahead, coach. Go ahead, coach.
From a field standpoint, it is a lot different playing in the middle of the field. If you're used to playing receiver and you've always been on the outside, not everybody can do it. It is a lot different. However, if you've got experience with it, some guys, like for me, when I played in the middle, it just felt like I had more space. I had the whole field. You could work to the outside better, and I could see the coverages easier because now I'm in the middle of the field and I can feel everybody instead of being on the outside and I'm kind of just looking, one direction. So I don't know. Not everybody can do it, but being tall is not going to be a bad quality to be in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I've just never heard of you being too small. I mean, too tall to be on the inside. Appreciate you, Curtis, and I appreciate you, Miss Tony.
No merit with it. Like it's all about your individual skill set. I think for the most part, you want your quicker players generally in the slot because they had two directions, and it's harder to defend somebody. You don't have to
repeat what you said about LeBron James. That was a great point. We were talking.
Yeah,
about.
it's
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It's like LeBron has little man skills for a point, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can see the court, but those type of skills that you see in LeBron is usually in a little guy that's running the point.
Hey, and you know what?
And everybody said he couldn't play point.
6'8", and they can run the point.
And he's running the point.
So
led the league in assists.
Skill set. So a CD Lamb, based on his skill set, could run in the slot.
How about this?
Oh, you're too tall.
If I broke it down right for the fans out there with the KISS method, I'm going to ask the questions and you guys answer them right now. Okay, so if you're playing in the middle of the field, who are you trying to throw over?
Linebackers.
Okay, so is it easier to throw over a linebacker to someone smaller on the other side of him or somebody taller?
Someone taller.
Well, then guess what? Done.
Ain't
gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna hurt that he's tall. It is not gonna hurt that he's tall. So as long as he can move, that's even better. Like you just said, if he's got little man skills and he's got a bigger frame, well, he's going to be able to catch over, in between, and through linebackers, and he's also got the speed to run on corners. So that makes him dynamic.
Hey, can I ask you a question? That's a great point.
And just real quick, also, Antonio Gandy is a good player. Y'all picked up a good player.
Is that TCU or Memphis?
No, Antonio Gandy came from one of those smaller schools, but he plays like this, and he has this.
Did we talk about him on here? His name.
I think I did mention him.
Yeah, about to say his name sound familiar in the mug.
Yeah, Gandy is.
It was a receiver from Memphis, athlete, right?
Yeah, he's a super athlete. Like he's not fast. He only ran a 4.6.
Ooh, that looked like it hurt.
But I mean, in terms of, like you said before, Coach, catching with his eyes, strong hands, strong catches.
Yeah,
he's a guy he's exactly like this. He makes very tough catches.
Hey, Thaddeus Moss is still out
and
there,
he make him look easy. He's 6'4", 220. He has 79 catches and 1,300 yards.
Jesus, Jacksonville they didn't pick 5 dudes, 4 of them all defense. Hey, Thaddeus Moss is still out there too.
Yeah, Thaddeus Moss. Yeah. So he came from Liberty University. So because he's a division, I want to definitely, talk about that. And I figured that would be something that y'all would do because I'm almost surprised that y'all took this long to start weaponing up your quarterback.
If you're watching, go ahead, boss.
It's almost like anybody that comes to Washington is going to struggle because they never really weaponed up anybody, whoever plays quarterback.
Hey, salute, man. Salute just got a new subscriber. Let me give you some glory hole real quick. Got you.
I want me some glory hole.
Appreciate you. I'm gonna add you in the group so you can get that chat line. Man. So Eagles are on the clock right now. I would assume they're probably going to be looking at a receiver, something on that offense again, or maybe even safety. They lost Malcolm Jenkins. I don't think did they do anything to replace Malcolm Jenkins? I don't think they did anything to replace Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah, and so right
I'm gonna tell y'all something for the Eagles. I'm predicting it right now. Eagles are gonna have a tough season next year, man.
Yep. They're gonna have a tough.
They're gonna have a tough season because I'm thinking, how are you having missed the quarterback and you just lost the quarterback of your defense? Malcolm Jenkins was the quarterback of that defense. The Eagles are gonna be in trouble next year.
Yeah.
Coach, like honestly, like the teams that are Eagles gonna have problems next year.
I want to wait to see what they do with these next two. If they boot
defense.
two, I'm gonna super co-sign what you just said.
You feel what I'm saying, though, boss? I'm
over here like,
and they were 8-8 team last year, and they're not getting better.
Yeah,
they gotta go back in.
Like everybody keeps saying that, they're a playoff team. No, bro, you're a 8-8 team that was in the playoffs by a half of a game, by a 0.5 of a game.
If people go play Philly hard too,
and you're not getting better.
Hard.
Think about this: the Cowboys 8-8 team who's gotten better. Washington, you guys didn't do what y'all do, but I mean, still, you can still say but y'all still, for the most part, from what you were last year, you should be a better team. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
The Giants should be a better team. Philadelphia, I see the exact same team.
Damn, man.
Who'd they take? Who's gone? Who just
did good, bro? They got a Meek Robinson. That's a solid damn pick by Philly, man.
You know what? Let's even break it down a little bit more. Talk about it like this, though. I know you guys, and look at these picks. So we're taking the CeeDee Lamb example, right? Of taking somebody that's taller, shifty, and can make that position if he does play in the middle, probably a little bit more dynamic, right? So look at these other players at some of these other teams that are trying to do that. Now, we could talk about past players, of course, the Jordan Reeds or maybe even a Claypool from this draft that we might see doing that in the middle. But that's the name of the game, is taking somebody that's a little bit more freakish and putting them in a position where you can't defend him, or if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you can't stop him. You look at the Clemson, the safety linebacker. I mean, he played everything. He was amazing. I just think that I love seeing those types of guys, man, and the teams that are really winning, so to speak, with those types of picks. So I didn't see that happen right now with Philly. I mean, yes, Washington got the Chase Young pick. Going back to that, he's a guy that's a baller, but other than that, there was none of those types of picks. But some of these other teams, they did. Ravens did. We talked about who Denver did. We talked about Colts, they did. A lot of these dynamic picks, man, are really going to help those teams out. And if you don't pick one up, like if Philly doesn't get something else here late that really surprises everybody, I'm on the bandwagon with you, man. And I'll end it with this funny comment. Carson Wentz is going to mentor Jalen Hurts.
Wow. We'll see. The guy who's already been reported as not being a good leader. Hey man, we got some Connor McGowan talks in the comments. Let's talk about this Dallas Cowboy offensive line, and we got Joe Looney, who is going to be your starting center. I would assume that Connor Williams is going to be our starting guard, and everybody else is going to be this Lael, Collins, Zachy, and Tyron. All that's going to be the same. But I keep hearing a lot of people. Let's talk about Connor McGowan. I don't know if you know a lot about Connor McGowan, Coach, but Connor McGowan, third-round guard, we drafted last year from Penn State. I actually got his film up right now. A lot of people are saying that there's a possibility that he may be playing a little center too. Boss Cowboy, what are your thoughts on Connor McGowan playing center for the Dallas Cowboys in a backup role? Or what are your thoughts on Connor McGowan? And because I remember we did some film work on him, and one thing I love about me and Boss is we'll never lie to you, Coach either, because Coach. One thing, this is a saying we say: when you go live every day, you can't lie because all you got to do is watch the film. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you go look at last year's draft, you will see my raw reaction when the Dallas Cowboys drafted him. So you'll know how I feel about Connor McGowan. But let's talk about Connor McGowan for a little bit. And shoot, Boss, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Connor and him playing center or guard?
Your first question, try to unpack everything you said.
Ooh, I like that. That's the new word.
Was what about him at center? So I got to kind of lean on the person that's the closest to the inside information in the rumor mill. Who we had on this week was Jane Slater, right? Mm-hmm. And she literally said, based on her talking to coaches and different personnel people on the inside, that she doesn't buy McGovern playing center.
Either one. She said either Connor Williams. She said Connor Williams, or she said
either one. But you was asking about McGovern, yeah, so that's why. My bad. Yeah. So I'm going with that too because I'm just being honest. I've never liked the film on McGovern at all. I think he's like walking through mud when he's playing. His feet get stuck in the ground, and he's hyped in terms of the push that he gets on a point of attack. I didn't see the push. Maybe somebody send me the clip that's clearly showing that, but I've never ever, with the films that I've watched on him, I don't see the push that people have been telling me he's going to get at the point of attack. So,
he'll better guard than center.
Yeah, I would feel better about him as guard than center, all the way. And I was never high on him, so I'm not even really counting him. Mm-hmm. I would want somebody to honestly
get somebody else.
Bring somebody else in that I feel great about. Like that's why I still love your Leary idea, because we already don't know what it is because of the pick, right? We don't know what he is. Like at least if he played last year, we could say, okay, we saw him. But my last eyes on him was bad, and the only thing I'm left with is hope, and the hope is a kind of whack hope. It's the hope in. He's going into year 2. Most players take a step up going into year 2. That's their biggest gain as a professional from year 1 to year 2. So hopefully by year 2, he's at least a decent starter. Come on, bro. Like somebody told me a long time ago, man, don't you ever in your life bet on hope. You bet on what you know.
Hey, and boss, and to be honest with you, boss, I gotta give somebody some glory hole. Appreciate the new supporter. Let me give some glory hole.
I want me some glory hole.
And then I also got to say this, boss.
It was all part of Carol Baskin's plan.
It was all a part of the Dallas Cowboy plan, because I'm going to tell you like this, Boss Cowboy. Technically, he is in his first year because he did not play a snap in the NFL last year. So, like, we can't even – so, technically, you got to look at him as a rookie. Like, this is literally like a Blake Griffin in the Clippers situation where Blake Griffin literally got hurt the day before the preseason game. Like he didn't play one play. Exact same thing with Connor McGowan. He didn't play one. He didn't play. Hey, Cowboys just traded up and we were on the clock. Let's see what we're looking at. Pick 146.
He's gonna get a quarterback.
I did look at some film at him just while you guys are talking.
We'll probably get Jake Fromm.
Let's see.
Jake Fromm. We jumped the Eagles. We traded with the Eagles.
Ooh,
we wild.
We wild in the mug.
It better be good too.
I hope it's something really good so we can push the Eagles off even more.
Better be good, and it should be an offensive lineman. If we really, because that's
Eagles did a trade with the Cowboys. Imagine if it becomes this player that ends up just like wearing them out. That would be so funny, right?
I thought Amik went to Philly. He didn't. Thank God. They got Drake Driscoll though. That's a good pick.
The quarterback. The quarterback. No, that ain't.
No, they got a lineman, a tackle.
Oh, Driscoll. He must have got a brother then. Pick is in.
Brom's available.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at Fromm.
Hey, I got Connor.
Man, the Philadelphia Eagles better not have traded with a rival for this whole rival can go get a quarterback.
There you go. That just answered your question right now. And this leads into my Connor.
Hey,
breakdown.
they took this. They got Tyler Braza, the center from Wisconsin. Yep. That's a good pick.
Yes, Woo!
That's a good
know
pick.
something?
And think about this, boss. Think about this, boss. Hey, boss, listen. Listen to this.
Because I'm dancing.
Listen. You know what this also says? You know what this also says? You know what this also means? This also means that every single word that we just said about Connor McGowan was absolutely true.
And West Coast. I just looked at the film. Tell me if this is what you guys saw.
Hold on, man. I gotta go dance. I gotta get off air. Hold on.
Hey, this is a good pick. This is a really good pick for the Cowboys. This is a really
His
good.
best plays. Connor McGowan's best plays were at guard and in double teams. He did not look like he was driving people off as a center. Playing center in the NFL is a whole new ballgame, setting that, and now picking that kid that you just picked up from Wisconsin, it makes a lot of sense. And they're going to leave Connor at guard. And his best, like I said, his best plays were double teams.
Yeah, hey, that was a great. And you got it so good because we literally just up here talking about. Hey, shout out to the person who said we need to pick a guard in this next round. That supporter, because that's what opened this whole conversation up. And then, yeah, man. I mean, obviously the Cowboys saw the same film that West Coast and Boss saw, and that coach saw, and that
we
is
were
that.
Saying it
yeah,
right there.
we were literally just talking about it.
Keeping it 100.
Hold up, we were literally just talking about it. Great examples. We showed you guys some film that, I mean, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, it's like this, man. If everybody gets an instruction manual, at the end of the day, we should all put together the exact same thing that we put it up. We're looking at the exact same film.
Every now and then you can have different judgments from looking at the exact same film.
Boss, we getting some glory hole.
Like I said,
I want me some glory hole.
We getting some glory hole.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
We had to get some both.
If you say different, you ain't watch film, man. Let's keep it in 100. You just went with the hype. You just went with rumors, but like that's a great pick. And we quoted James Slater. We wasn't buying him playing center.
Man, that's what's up.
And the beautiful thing is I watched film on Tyler. Man, that dude get great push at the point of attack. Bro, we killed that pick. I'm finna go to sleep. I have no worries about the middle.
Cowboys are killing the draft, bro.
They killing the draft, man. God, dog.
Cowboys are killing the draft.
Y'all watch Boss Act a fool because I felt that. I felt like we just scored 3 touchdowns on that pick.
Cowboys are killing the draft.
Oh, my goodness, we killing it, bro. God, dog. Oh, bro, I'm sorry, man. I know I embarrassed myself with that stupid dance I just did. But, man, sometimes, man, you catch the Holy Ghost, man. It just gets you. It just take over or something, man. You know?
Wow.
Man. Boy, we killed that. Like, and that's what I was wanting. I was like, man, sure up that line.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like, you got Joe Looney, so I mean, this is this gives you, man. You still got Joe Looney should be your starter. This great backup. And also Connor Williams. That puts Connor Williams probably going to be your starting guard. You're gonna put Connor McGowan as your backup guard. I think we still need to look at a swing tackle. I think I wouldn't mind. I would still like to look at a swing tackle. I don't know if we didn't re-sign Cam Fleming, did we? Nick, we got Tyler.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, so we still need a swing tackle.
Yeah, we still need a tackle.
All right, so we gave them.
They trust Brandon Knight, and he might end up being okay. Right now, I think they're looking at Brandon Knight as the swing.
All right, so it looks like it says it looks like we gave up. We gave pick 164 in the 5th round and pick 164 and a 5th round from 2021.
Smart, Dallas. Smart. And somebody got some big old balls over there front office. Somebody let's call Philly.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, but you know what that is too? That's someone that said, man, Philly ain't my rival. I only been in this division 60 days. I don't know them people. You know what I'm saying? That's when it's business. You know what I'm saying? That's when it's business.
Yeah.
Care if you my rival
on the phone with Philly.
Yeah, I don't care if you my rival. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's what also new blood in the division brings. New blood in the division will allow you to make deals like that. You know what I'm saying? Think about this.
I gotta respect both teams for that.
Yeah.
I really do. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both teams really stepped away from hate and said we got to do what's best for each other. Impressive.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. Freaking, you got a center who just blocked for freaking for a Taylor. So this is a kid who knows how to. This is a kid who knows how to move, man.
Yeah, man. Oh man, dude. I'm still over here shaking, bro. I'm over here like
That was a damn good pick, man. Oh my
damn,
god,
that was a good pick.
Someone asked in the chat, why didn't the Dallas Cowboys with giving up a pick? Why did they get Trent Williams? I'll tell you, one reason is because the Redskins would not want to give Trent Williams to the Cowboys. That's the first.
No.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. And they didn't need to at that point because if it's a 5th round pick, I mean, realistically, the Redskins got robbed anyway. So if Dallas just picked up the center and they have their O-line and Trent Williams is 8 to 9 or whatever years old he is, they're building for the future anyway. So they don't have to pay all that money and they got other weapons. So that's the business standpoint.
And Marcus D. Jones said, bro, you take a center from Wisconsin, no analysis needed.
Exactly. He's getting glory. That's a damn good. Hold up.
Hey, Marcus, your name
I
must
want
be
me some glory.
Yeah, Marcus getting
your
some
name
glory.
must be Marcus with that comment.
Yeah,
your name is Marcus. Golly, man. I just feel so good right now, man. I'm so proud of McCarthy. I'm so proud of
We must win. We will win. Win is the name of the game.
Happy right now for Will McClay. I love all those. The teamwork is so obvious. The era change is so obvious. This is beautiful, man. Like, I haven't felt this good in a draft since 2016.
The Giants took the guard out of Oregon.
Hey, in 2016.
Oh, good job, man. And that's Jason Garrett over there, man.
Yep. I mean, they need the offensive line. That's
he building those trenches.
Yep.
So get ready for Saquon to be a lot more dangerous with Garrett over there. Watch those Giants, y'all. Like, I know we've been stumping mud holes in them lately, but they're building right, and they're doing it the Jason Garrett way, which is what? Smash mouth football. They're building it.
The only thing about Jason Garrett is he's known for the pass game. Part of the reason why he lost his play calling in 2011 is because the run game was suffering. So.
No, that's true. But then in his later years, he really became addicted to the run game. So, and I think they're trying to, with the piece that they have over there with Saquon as their main piece, I think they're trying to make it like easier on him and make it easy also on their quarterback by first building that wall of protection. Because they're not weaponing up like I would expect them to, but they're doing things that are responsible. Like they're not putting the cart before the horse. So, and we both like Shane. Remember, me and you both was high on Shane from Oregon. You know,
they got him. They just got him right now, right?
Bro, yeah, the Giants just got Shane.
Dang, he was going inside. I picked him in the 2nd round once.
Yeah, Shane's solid. That's a solid guard, bro. So they got, man, that whole line right now is looking like quality. They're going directly at their weakness, and they're making it a major strength. They putting themselves in a real good position right now. I see you, Johns. You're not gonna sneak up on me. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, the Giants is doing their thing.
They doing good.
The only team that's really surprised me right now is Philadelphia. Like,
yeah, Philly is not Philly. Philly is not doing a normal Philly.
Yeah, they're
stuff.
like, this is weird. Like, then you're gonna get a Cowboys.
This is not normal.
You gonna
Philly.
let us
Philly
come get a center after our center retires for real? Out of Wisconsin for real?
Yeah.
And think about this, boss. When Travis Frederick came into the league, you guys know that he had a 3rd round draft. He had a 3rd round grade on him. That's why he got booed.
Yes.
So don't tell me.
People try to act like he didn't have a.
No, he had a 3rd round draft.
Himself, I had a 3rd round grade.
He had a 3rd round grade.
They drafted me.
Now think of this. So don't try to tell me that this kid can't come in right now and play. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys know what they.
The film says he can, West Coast.
And if the film also says this, that the Dallas Cowboys know exactly what they're doing when they pick offensive linemen. Because we have only had one that didn't do good, and that was what? Who was that? He only gave up 7 sacks.
Chaz Green.
There you go. Everybody else has been pretty decent. You know what I'm saying?
My boy Anthony Turner say his nickname, you go like this, West Coast and Coach Higgins, badass.
Oh,
that's his nickname.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
Damn! That might have been the pick of the draft, low key, man. Woo! Woo! I just want to go, man. I still want to dance. I got another dance in me, man. I think it's starting to take over me one more time, bro. It's taking over.
The only thing I need the Cowboys to do now, and I think this is what I think that we should do now, I would like to see a double dip at the defensive end position.
Yeah, there's some steals out there.
I would like to see a double dip.
Out there, I think, right? Is a new steal sitting out there?
Find me some defensive ends. I need some. We need some because, bro,
there's some solid ones still sitting out there, man.
If Goodell screws us and does not reinstate, bro, we have 3 D ends that are not going to play this year. And I know y'all don't want to think about that because we
smoke weed every day.
I don't trip, but we still need to think about it.
All right, so Bradley Anu from Utah would be a steal at this point.
Bradley Anu.
So he had 13 sacks.
Fix your camera, boss.
Total tackles.
Fix your camera, boss. I can't see you.
Everybody that we love, I mean love at tackle, he destroyed, bro.
Fix your camera, boss.
Destroyed him in the Senior Bowl. The only thing that's bad about him is his measurables are bad. He ran a 4.93. He's like Taco. Like when I saw Taco 40, I was like, ew.
Fix your camera, boss.
Oh.
There you go. Tilt it down just a little bit. Tilt it down a little bit.
Hold on, man. I had him looking all in.
Right there.
All in the sky.
You good?
So, here we go. Give me a second. There we go.
But yeah, we were. Go ahead. Say your point one more
Bradley
time.
Anu. Yeah. So there it is. So Bradley Anu, just breaking him down. Bradley Anu, 6'3", 265, 13 sacks, 41 tackles. The thing about him is speed.
How many sacks?
That's the thing. 13.
What school he go to?
Utah. And I'm talking about dogging.
He's still on the board?
He's still on the board. Yeah. I've been looking at him, bro. Yeah, I'm sitting there like, I still don't know why he's sitting there. But see, what hurt him is that 40, man. That 4.93, bro. That killed him, bro.
Yeah, but when is he going to be running past 40 yards? I'm going to be honest with you, bro.
But I'm just, you know how people grade, man.
Is Khalid Kareem still available?
You know how people grade.
Who?
When you run a 4.9 as a defensive end, they start thinking you can't play.
Hey, Coach, I want to know, can I ask you a question, but Coach, this is going to come out of Layfield.
Yeah.
What would you say to abandoning 40 times for anything outside of skill positions?
Because you got to run across the field, especially linebackers, DNs, those types of things.
Okay, but it's like offensive linemen. No,
you still want it for offensive linemen.
Because it's just a mentality that you want them to run down 40 yards, regardless whether they're ever going to do it successfully or not. You got to have them, you got to push them.
Okay.
But I will say that the 20-yard is probably going to be a little bit more.
That's what I was gonna say. Taking it away and putting emphasis on something else, like a shuttle. I think a shuttle is probably more important for for those positions, right? Put more emphasis, not necessarily on their 40 time. Like an offensive lineman shouldn't be judged on their 40. They should be judged on 5 to 15 yards. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where they're gonna use more.
And in theory, you're right, West Coast. The thing about it is, now that you have this,
or is there a drill that we could implement? Maybe the correct question is, as a coach, is there a drill that you would implement, or something that you would implement that could probably just give you a better examine of what an offensive lineman or a defense? Because I mean, slow defensive linemen don't mean you're gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean you necessarily gonna be bad in the league. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
it's indicators. And you want
go ahead, coach. Go ahead, coach. Go ahead, coach. Go ahead.
I think they're going to take more interest in that 3-cone and also the agility drill, the short shuttle. The 3-cone agility is going to give you 100% for the defensive ends and defensive tackles and O linemen, but they're still going to charge and run the 40-yard sprint to see the overall athleticism. But if you notice, they do start, timing what they're running during the 40 at the 20-yard mark to give them an idea of, what they're actually going to be running in short distances.
Okay, go ahead, boss. I just want the coach to finish what you were saying. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
So it's indicators also in the 40 that's important. Like, that was one of the things that hurt the tackle that we got last year as an undrafted free agent. His 40 was so bad. He had all the tape, but it came out that people that run at his speed level, 95% of them failed in the league. So sometimes you just want the 40 to be able to kind of have a measure of his probability of success. So if you know a certain 40 gives you a 95% chance failure, you probably won't draft that guy, even with good film, right? So for indicators, you still would want the 40, but you're definitely right, in my opinion, that it's speed alone shouldn't be the in certain positions shouldn't be the buy all end all, right? Because another thing and another case study that you can easily pull out would be Orlando Brown, that ended up being drafted to the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
He was a combine disaster. His bench was horrible. His 40 was horrible. All his drills was horrible. But guess what? He whooped baby Bosa up, beat him down, on film. So, and I said after he just totally boo-booed on his combine, I said this is going to be a pure case study on film versus gym shorts. Because on gym shorts he failed, and on film he was the dog. And guess what he's doing in the league right now? Balling. So you right, West Coast. Some of these measurables can lead us wrong, like straight up. Like looking at a 40 on alignment, I can see that where it can lead you wrong, especially if you just saying I'm going to ignore film altogether and throw them away over the 40. But the best thing it can do is indications. That's it. And that's the only reason I would keep it on alignment, because at least I have an indication of a chance of success.
Yeah, great point. Hey, and shout out to the supporters, man. Let me give y'all some glory hole to the supporters. We just got a new supporter, and I appreciate you.
I want me some glory hole.
So, boss, give me a drill that you like. Give me a drill, that you think is a good indicator that you could for these. A new coach said he said the 3-cone, or if you think the 3-cone is a good deal, is there another drill you like to implement also?
I would want some kind of drill that can really show an offensive lineman's ability to change direction, and move their feet. I would want to see quickness to where you can actually, and I'm trying to think of a drill that would show that, like, because one thing that I really want in an offensive lineman is linemen that can get their feet out of the ground quick, where they can change the direction because of their feet, not necessarily their hips, but their feet. I'm trying to think of what drill would kind of showcase that. Hey, they showing you a receiver right now, Coach. He crazy, man. From Redskins, his crazy athleticism. But going back to what you were saying, West Coast, I would have to think about it, man, because I think you're right. I don't think it's quality drills enough that showcase what you want to see in an offensive lineman. The drill that I like the most on that offensive lineman is that mirror drill that they do, where basically a guy got to, change direction, and you got to basically get in your base, and you got to kind of continue to shuffle and stay low and stay with that person that's changing direction over and over and over again. That's the best drill so far that they came out in the combine that can really give you an indication of how easy they're able to move and shuffle and change direction, and can they stay in that position without their legs burning? Because if you start raising up, that means you don't have the thigh strength and the quad strength to really stay in hard positions and good fundamental lineman positions. So that's the best drill that they have so far. But you're right, I think they need to kind of think about it a little bit more to kind of give better indicators from a combine.
My boy Marcus, go ahead, Coach.
Individual O-line specific, because if you think about it, offensive lineman is defensive by nature in the pass sets, and a defensive lineman is offensive by nature, going to being aggressive. So what you're saying is something I think that the coaches definitely do. I could see that shuffling and staying there and kick sliding and mirroring. And that's why I use just kind of the 3-cone, not the short shuttle agility 3-cone, but the 3-cone where you run up, you run around, you kind of figure 8, you go 5 more yards, you run around, you come back, you run around back through. Because something that's consistent that they test everybody at, it just gives you an indication of how they move. But I'd like to see those, like you're talking about too, individual specific position drills, to go ahead and gauge those type of movements. I want to ask you, is Kareem available to draft from Notre Dame, the DN? Dallas,
Coach.
Real quick, I want to read this comment real quick. So Marcus, he says, he says they do a shuffle a shuffle drill during the field workouts, but they don't have a measurement drill for that. So, I mean, other people.
that was the drill I was talking about.
Yeah, other people were talking about that in the
How do you
comments too.
measure that? Yeah.
I'm just saying where they can compare people speed wise in a time is what I'm, they don't have that. But yes, you can look at somebody how they move 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kareem is gone. He went at 148. So he went just a little while ago. We was yapping it up. Ben Britson gone. That's a solid guard out of Michigan. Yeah, it's getting good, man. The draft, it's getting real good. So no, man, but the Cowboys just killed it, man. And I'm glad you're showing that tape right now on the center Tyler we just got, because man, that dude third is. I feel so good about that pick, man. And because see, this is the thing I like about when. I like it when I find you when I'm not looking for you. You know what I mean, Coach?
Yeah.
Like, where you watching film and I was looking at Davis for Notre Dame, because Davis ran an incredible time at the combine and D lineman. So I'm like, let me go check him out to see if I'm gonna add him to my book, because his measurables was crazy good. So I turned on the Wisconsin tape. I want to see what do you do against good all linemen. And man, Tyler whooped his A up and down, bro. I mean, man, it was almost like they was in jail and he was just taking him, man. It was like, oh my goodness, man, this is crazy. Tyler, like Big Nasty, what Anthony Turrell said they call him, Big Nasty or whatever they call him, man. Boy, he gonna live up to that. And I wasn't looking for him. I was just, let me see what he's gonna do against this good offensive line. And I was just focused in at that point of attack where they engage each other. And I'm talking about it was just destruction in that middle, man. And when I'm looking at pure, beautiful destruction at the point of pushing a good freak like Davis back 3 yards from the point of attack, bro, what is Zeke gonna do with that? If he's able to even get a yard or 2 yards of push at the point of attack, that's gonna be crazy. And then another thing that Wisconsin linemen are known for is cerebral players like Zach Martin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the fact that we getting a guy, generally, and coming from a program to where they take super pride in the offensive line. That whole conference does,
boss?
But especially Wisconsin.
On that point, I want to give you why. Wisconsin has been traditionally, correct, a power run game, downhill, right? Even pro style in that fact, offense.
Okay.
Correct? All right. So when you are at that competitive level and you're running like that, then obviously to counteract that, the teams that they're playing against are going to run all different types of fronts, play all different types of games to try to get more guys in the box. So that automatically not only puts pressure on the coaching staff to figure out how ways to block it and to counteract that, but then, like you're saying, to your point, these offensive linemen have to be smart when they recruit them. They have to be ready to take in all that knowledge from a professional level, because that's what they're seeing, because they've committed to the run and they've committed, to defending.
Fredericks are retired.
All those different things. So that's why those linemen have been so smart, and that's why they're NFL ready, because they are seeing at that utmost professional level, even though it's college, all different ways to defend the run game, the power game, the counter game, all different things. So to your point, that's a real good point, and that's the reason why those linemen are ready.
Man, good. Thank you, Coach. That's beautiful insight. I had no idea that it was that deep with Wisconsin. And then I'm liking they showing the pictures of him now. He looking like Frederick Part 2. They showing him off of farms because everybody know Frederick is a farm boy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cowboys need to get on
this because it's gonna come across wrong, but everybody knows that there's nothing wrong with a country, right? Big guy that's raised on a farm. You know what I mean?
Hey, boss.
And I'm not trying to knock farm guys, because I know we got a lot of people that listen to us that do a lot of farm work. But isn't that ideally what you want in the offensive line? Hey. Somebody that was raised carrying hay.
Yeah, and something else that we may want to think about too, man, is who's to say that Jerry Jones doesn't get on the phone with Travis Frederick in a month and say, hey, Travis, I mean, I know you don't want to. I know obviously you don't want to play this year, but you're gonna be doing a whole lot of sitting around. We got this Wisconsin kid, you know what I'm saying, who's from your alma mater. We love for you to come down here once or twice a week to help him out. I mean, to be honest with you, Jerry Jones is probably by far the best at that. You know what I'm saying? And he'll probably kick you down a little check on the side. So don't be surprised if you hear about Travis Frederick not coaching, but I mean, he ain't even really he won't even offer him a coaching job. He'll just offer him just
assisting.
Just because right now you just need him to come around. Just get him to come around. You know what I'm saying? Just come around and just meet this kid, this Wisconsin kid. Same school from you. Just introduce him. Let me know what you think about him. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point, West Coast, because I think it would be smart just to keep Fredericks around just in case he start feeling better.
That makes him want to feel better because offensive linemen, they work out together. So if he's in there working out, Travis is going to be in there working out. You know what I'm saying?
And see, you the one that brought out that it takes about 2 years for generally offensive lineman to get over the disease that Frederick had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not fully 2 years yet. So this gives, to your point, it's a strategic way to keep Fredericks around just in case his body naturally starts feeling better and he starts saying maybe by August or maybe by September, but damn, I feel like I'm myself again.
And I'm pretty sure the Cowboys talked to him. I can almost guarantee you the Cowboys talked to Fredericks about this kid. I can almost guarantee you. Just like every DB pretty much that came out of Houston. Why? Because it's your school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty goddamn sure they made it even like a little 5. Hey, Fred, what do you think about this kid? You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Yeah.
Hey, next Thursday, you want to come down and you want to meet him? You want to come down and say hi to him?
That's a real good point. And I can definitely see them doing that.
And Jerry is the best at doing that, bruh. Like if you want to meet I'm gonna tell you this: if you want to meet some former Dallas, just bump into some former Dallas Cowboy players, go to the Star because they all work there. Like, go to the Star.
One more thing I'm gonna say too, and I'm gonna say this again: don't be surprised if Fredericks come back.
Yeah, you was the first one that said that.
Yeah, I think Fredericks go come back. I think he might lay off a year like Witten, to where he's just not under the microscope and under the pressure. He wants his body to natural heal. He don't want the pressure from Jerry and them. Can you play? 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 He want to just kind of hang out and come together. And let it come together. But I think when he feeling better on his own, don't be surprised if Fredericks pick up that phone and now we'll be able to take Tyler and likely move him to one of the guards.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys.
Or it depends on how he comes in. If he come in balling, then we might be like, well, we still on your right, so we go trade you, Frederick.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, we done provided you guys a complete coverage of the draft this whole weekend long. We're going to be going for about another hour. The draft is going to be going on to about 4, but we all got responsibility today, Saturday, and I got some responsibilities I got to take care of. Coach got we all got some monitorial things we got to take care of, but we appreciate you guys for rocking on us, and let's make this last hour of the draft, the NFL draft that will be airing, let's make it a great one. Make sure you guys hit that share button. You guys remember the tip jar is open. If you can't, if it doesn't allow you to do it on social media platforms, you can definitely hit the cash apps. I have those up there. Make sure you hit those, and I'll make sure I give you guys some glory hole when it comes out. Actually, why I say it when you can just.
I want me some glory hole.
Just give you a little glory hole. Hey, man, I know y'all all felt like y'all got a little glory hole after this draft, man, because this is a damn good draft, man. Like, and
we could literally stop, and
I was just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that.
They could stop right now, and I'd be like, this has been a great draft. Like, this is amazing. Like, nobody got no excuse. You know, a lot of people like to say Dak don't have no excuse. Now, nobody has an excuse right now. McCarthy doesn't have no excuse right now. Like, if we should be very competitive. If we're not a top 4 team, something went greatly wrong.
Yeah,
I'd have to agree. I mean, you just picked up, and I like to say it. I know we talk about using.
We must win. We will win. Win is the name of the game.
The farm terminology, we call that as coaching, just blue collar. You got yourself some blue collar linemen. You got some dynamic skill guys when they were available. It's going to be exciting, without a doubt, for the Dallas Cowboys here in 2020.
Yeah, Coach. Hey, Coach, I got this for you right here.
It was all part of Carol Baskin's plan.
Hey, man, y'all gotta get Carol Baskin out y'all management, man. She killing y'all, man. She killing y'all right now. I'm serious, man. The next thing y'all know, your whole franchise is going to just disappear. Hey, what happened to the Washington Redskins? Well, I don't know.
So one of
Didn't
my
they have a
favorite
football
safeties
team? They
that also
disappeared.
just left. That was in my boss Cowboy guide, Daniel Thomas. So
Out of
safety
Sarah,
is leaner and leaner and leaner. So at this point, it's almost completely. Unless they found somebody that I just didn't see, it's about time to even stop looking at safety.
can we just admit? Can we all just admit, as the Dallas Cowboy fan base, the Cowboys don't give a damn about safety? I told y'all that.
I thought about that, West Coast.
You remember when I said that? Everybody got mad at me when I said that. The Cowboys don't give a.
I was mad at you when you said that. I just didn't say nothing. I was like, stop, West, pissing me off.
Like the Cowboys don't give a damn
But
about
they
no
showing
safety.
it, man. They showing it.
Like this is the second year in a row where, bruh, you had think about this. This is the second year in a row where the best safeties in the draft were there and they passed on all of them.
Yeah.
Passed on all of them.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
so
if it ain't a Bentley,
they can still make us proud.
hey, Boss
though.
Cowboy,
I'm gonna leave us a little room of hope.
if it ain't a Bentley of safeties, the Cowboys don't want it. Period. That's just what it is. If it ain't Earl Thomas, if it ain't Jamal Adams, they don't want it. That's why I'm saying let Donovan Wilson play. Hey, I'm really gonna be on the let Donovan. I'm about to get aggressive now with the let Donovan Wilson play. He gotta play because you're not adding anybody else. And
very little competition in that room.
Donovan is the only safety for the Dallas Cowboys who has shown to me he can consistently get his hands on the ball. And I don't care if it was in preseason. When you play in preseason, you're playing against equal talent. Why? Because he's a kid trying to make a team, playing against other kids trying to make teams. That's fair talent.
I'm in the mood for one of your best buttons, bro. That smoke weed every day.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say something.
Smoke weed every day.
Like, man, let my boy Donovan needs to play. Donovan Wilson needs to play. Like, I'm on it now. I'm about to be aggressive on it now. Donovan Wilson has to play. I already projected him as my star.
If they don't play, whoever that coach is, he what?
Let me see.
It was all part of Carol Baskin's plan.
That's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
And he doing too much.
What did I?
Smoke weed every day.
That's what it is. But come on, man. Stop playing, man. Stop hating on my boy, man. Stop hating on my boy, man.
Do something about safety, man. Like, Lord have mercy, man. Because somebody is definitely smoking too much weed with the Cowboys every day. Golly, like, and I literally thought about that. I said, West Coast said, he said that day one when the draft opened at the Cowboys, and I got mad. I ain't say nothing, but inside, you know how it is. You get in your feelings to yourself. Don't say that, West Coast. Stop it. But we in day 3 now, and it's like we still kind of very lean at safety. Another thing that's kind of surprising is the lack of linebackers that we haven't really went after. I'm surprised at that. That also, which is good because that's saying that they feel good about LVE.
Man, I hope so. The Cowboys be doing a lot of
killing them with that weed button.
The Cowboys be doing a whole lot of wishing and praying, so I ain't about to just assume that.
True, man. Good point, man. That could be a wish. Like, we hope we just having a good feeling.
This guy is on your team right now.
Right.
This guy right here.
Here from Landon, message from the coach. He said the kid we got from Liberty, his head coach was his head coach when he was coming out of college, and both of us had similar numbers and stats. Got a really good kid. Thank you. That's good to know, man. Good kids are always great coachable people to have, so hopefully it works out. He looked good on film. I like what we saw.
This kid is still on our team. This kid right here.
Bryce Hall just went corner to the Jets. I never really liked Bryce Hall. I never added him, my God. He seemed long and clumsy to me. I never got into the hype on him.
This is Donovan Wilson, currently a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, Catherine said Tyson got that one right. Yep, he did. He got that right. We still waiting on that super dog safety. I think eventually we go get him. And hopefully HaHa comes in and can do that. Yeah,
Coach, what are your thoughts, HaHa, on free safety or strong?
Depending on what the scheme is of what they're going to do with the free. HaHa's a guy that's going to bring experience, so he's versatile. I'd like to see him, play more as the strong. I guess now if you got a guy with range, but he's smart enough to, stay over the top if he needs to do so. So I guess it depends on what's the other kid you were talking about that might move. What's his attributes? The other
Cheetah Bear Woozy. Well, we haven't seen him play. We haven't seen him play safety in the NFL yet. We did play it in college. I mean,
okay.
We haven't seen him play it in the NFL. In the NFL yet, though.
Was he more of a range guy?
He's rangy.
Savion Smith.
I was talking about Cheeto.
Well, what about the other cat, Smith? What's his?
Savion?
More rangy?
He's more rangy. Go ahead, boss.
Savion. I'm sorry. What were you saying, West Coast?
Not. They about the same to me. That's all I'm gonna say. But go ahead. They built the same. But go ahead.
Savion Smith, he had great ball skills coming out of Alabama, but he was in a very deep room, and he was a rotational player for Alabama. And then, he was a corner drafted with the Jaguars, got cut, and then we picked him up. So it's more than likely somebody that we already had an eye on for some time, right? And we decided to get him. But I'm almost certain that we're going to move him to safety because at this point I think our cornerback room is a little bit too deep, and our safety room is not deep enough. Where we need to add competition there, and the fact that Savion Smith played both well at Alabama, as well as a very good ball skill guy. Like he attacks the ball as well. He could be a sleeper guy that can come in and really push Xavier Woods or even take his job.
Okay, so hearing that, then HaHa's probably the guy that's going to be playing both. He's going to, with his experience, seeing who can fit in, meaning who can produce better at either or, but HaHa can get over the top. I'd like to see him be more of an in-the-box guy. He's a guy that can come down and create some good matchups for you defensively against some of those tight ends and crossing route guys, and he's got good awareness. He can jump the ball. He can come down and tackle. But he'll probably be the guy that gets moved around and do both due to the experience or lack thereof, unless you guys get somebody else.
New England just got a kicker.
Got a kicker before a quarterback.
I mean, they like their quarterback.
I guess so.
Brian Hoyer.
They're bringing someone else in too.
Yeah, they like they start a quarterback. All the signs are saying that they feel very confident in him.
Well, or they
this
know,
kicker
or
was
they
literally ranked 531 by CBS. So they didn't even want to risk him going to undrafted free agency. So,
and they also lets us know that there's a strong chance that there's gonna be some movement on Monday.
And that's one thing I do love though about Bill Belichick. He does not care what anybody else thinks. He does not care. Nope. If you can kick, and I had problems, which think about last year, they had some issues. He's like, listen, I'm gonna bring you in. You're gonna get your job done, and if not, you're gonna be gone. So I'm gonna sign you.
Dang, Jake Fromm is still out there.
Yes, he is. And the Washington Redskins are up in 2 picks.
I would like Jake Fromm from Dallas. I would love it.
What y'all thinking for y'all in 2 picks?
Well, I mean, we still got needs. We got to go. We have to get something, linebacker, safety, if there's some things out there still. At this point, though, with Jake Fromm out there, I would not be disappointed if we took him. Would not be disappointed. But we just have so many needs. I mean, I don't think that's the best pick with all the needs. But if it's that available and you hit home and someone didn't realize how good he is, like a Tom Brady that got picked later on, I'm not saying
he'd be a good fit in Baltimore in Tampa Bay too.
That's true, and they're up first right here.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing that hold on, I want to check something real quick because I'm looking at Dallas and all the picks.
They took a wide receiver, Tyler Johnson, Minnesota.
So the guy that we picked, Tyler from Wisconsin, just more good news for Dallas. Just to show the value of quality that we're doing in this draft, he was graded 76 overall, and we got him at 146.
Almost double the value.
Yep.
Double the value, and all of our picks have been like that. Every one of them have been. We got picks that was graded way higher than where we picked them. Dallas is killing this draft, man. Just straight up. Like if and the best part is their film matches the value grades. and a value deal. Because sometimes you can get guys. I know y'all both might feel me on this, but you can get guys that can have high grades, but you still kind of doubt their film. Like the guys we picked up, their grades match their film. So it's like it's not a reach to me. So it's Dallas and whatever they got going on with that mix of Mike McCarthy mixed with Will McClay mixed with Steven and mixed with Jerry.
And mixed with Jerry, leave it in the hell alone.
Which is still good leadership.
It is.
Sometimes that's the best leadership
It
altogether is getting out the way.
It is. It is.
So with that mix and so let me be more specific because I think you're right though with Steven, Will McClay, Mike McCarthy, and Will. Shoot, that four-headed monster, man, or whatever, I lost count of heads. Man, they got a formula in there, man. Cause see, it was already good under Jason Garrett, but man, they added some original herbs and spices to this chicken recipe, man. And I'm talking about it's coming out ready to sell this chicken, man. It's just they got them a formula in there that's just working. Cause I'm shocked, and I've already loved most of Dallas's drafts over the last 6 years. This one is likely the best. Yeah. It's gonna be hard to beat 2016, but
I had posted something earlier today, and I was like, actually yesterday after the CeeDee Lamb pick, and at the beginning of the day, I was like, dang man, this draft has the potential to probably be one of the best drafts in Dallas history.
Yeah. It's at this point it's scary, bro. It's like.
It's just off of the value you're getting, not even off of what these guys might become. It's off of the value. Like we're like at pick 162, and we still haven't gotten a player that's out of the top 100. Every one of our players have been top 100. Like this is going to be ridiculous. We're going to end up we had 7 picks. We'll end up having 5 top 100 players. Top 100. Now think about this. That math doesn't even make sense. Why? Because there's 32 teams, 3 rounds. That's 369. That means after round 3, theoretically, there should be no more top 100 players. So you know what that means? That means the Dallas Cowboys are going what makes sense, and there's a lot of teams reaching, bruh. There's a lot of team reaching. There's a lot of kids that are outside of their picks that are getting picked right now. You get what I mean? Because mathematics say that you should be done with the top 100 picks by the middle of the round 3, the end of round 3. So if you're still picking top 100 kids in round 4 and 5, some of these teams are reaching, bruh.
Yeah, it's a lot of teams I think are reaching. Like it's a lot of picks in here. I was like, dang. That's why I said at this point I was seeing a lot of disparity and schism between where they were graded and where some of these people's picking, and it's like real wild. It's like, damn, this guy had a 400 grade, 300, 200, 160 grade.
That's ridiculous.
But sometimes it's a couple of guys I'm like that on though. Like a guy named Sullivan, the tight end from LSU. I mean, he had a 400 grade on I moved him all the way up into round 6 and 7 on because I see him as that much of an asset. He was a former receiver, converted to tight end. The year before, even playing with Joe Burrow, he was burning them up at receiver. So you don't think if you add another 10 pounds to him, he's going to kill linebackers? And he did it in the Senior Bowl. They had him in one-on-ones. He was unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody was talking about it. But like if you were just looking, you was like, he murdered that linebacker. And there's another one. They put him on a safety. He murdered the safety. And when you turn on the tape, he's a damn good blocker. It's just that he's not hype, and he was playing behind Thaddeus Moss. So with Moss getting all those reps, you'll think he's really not the man. But remember, he was a receiver converted to tight end. So he really has 1 year tape of tight end. So his devaluation is not talent. It was just, can you really trust 1 year of film on a guy that was just converted to tight end? But I trust what I saw in the Senior Bowl. I trust what I was seeing as a senior with him blocking and how he dominated. And I love how he destroyed the combine, ran a 4.6. I hope Dallas gets him some kind of way, whether it's free agency, undrafted free agency, or even in the 7th round. And I know he will come in and push even Blake Jarwin right now. He's that athletic.
Yeah, Cowboys are doing a really good job. And I mean, obviously, there's no way you cannot deny that it has to do with the new leadership that's involved because you're seeing a total. We was going right, and now we're going totally left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
There's
you
new
cannot
leadership.
deny that Mike McCarthy's influence. And I also feel like you also think like this, man. The Dallas Cowboys have 6 former head coaches on their teams right now. So all that experience is coming into play right now. And it also feels like each one of the position groups are getting, some players that are going to be able to come in and really help their room. So I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing. You got the Philadelphia Eagles on the clock right now. We'll see what they'll probably draft a punter or something.
See the 49ers? See the 49ers traded to the Dolphins, Breda, for the 153 pick?
The running back?
Yeah. So Dolphins, look what the Dolphins have been doing, man. They've been picking up. I mean, they got a lot of picks. And then the 49ers just picked up that pick and got, Breda. Keith Ishmael, center. I liked him. Do you see the Redskins' next pick? It said outside linebacker, but they were showing guard plays on there, so I'm not sure if there was a mistake or not. I'm trying to pull up the guy who it was from Michigan. But they do need a linebacker, so that would have been a good pick. It would have been the first thing that I actually agreed with.
And my boy Kevin Harrison said, which I love your comment, man. He said, "No, if nobody get Chris Orr and we get him with our 7th pick, my heart gonna jump out of my chest and start dancing." I absolutely agree with you, bro. He's somebody else that was graded in the 400s that I had to move way up into my board. Now, if you look at Chris Orr, he really is Zach Bond, just 20 pounds less. 6 foot, 224 pounds, has 78 tackles. Listen to the sacks, 11.5. Bond had 12. He ran a 4.64 at the combine, so good speed. His bench press was okay, 18. And I said in my book, Kevin, to your point, which is showing we're looking at the same things. It's just our eyes agree on this. I said round 7 of free agency will be a steal. That's what I put in the book for Chris Orr. And he fit us. With us being a 3-4, 4-3 hybrid, he fit us. That's it. That's even more important. Yeah, so I'm keeping my eye out for that one too. Chris Orr. There's no way to be super excited over Zach Bond and not like Chris Orr. And one more thing about Chris Orr, I'll say too. I would listen to what they were saying about his head coach was saying about him. He was the leader of the team as a freshman and sophomore. They said when seniors used to get out of line, Chris Orr would get them back in line. If they was having bad and lazy practices, Chris Orr would get them back in line. So you dealing with a guy that's a youngster that doesn't mind taking a leadership role. He'll do the ugly stuff. He'll do the special teams. He'll do whatever it takes for the team to win. That's what kind of guy Chris is. So I think he would be a steal. And whoever put him in the 400s only put him in the 400s because they didn't do enough research.
Man, I'm over here looking at some more stuff on this Gallimore. That dude is nice. This defensive tackle. Out of man, he is disruptive. Man. He is disruptive. Yeah. So Dallas killing, man, and we still got a lot to go. I mean, we still got a lot to go, man.
Miami just got another pick from the Eagles.
The Eagles traded another pick. What'd they trade for it?
It's coming up. I'm not sure exactly. Actually, someone just put in the comment too. It says the E-girls traded their pick. They're not liking my Philly. I don't mind though. Traded their pick.
Vital that's a good pick. Chicago, good pick.
So it'll come up right here. So they traded. So Miami got Breda from 49ers. So they must be sold on Tevin Coleman and their other back. And I know they picked up another one, but Miami's done a lot in this draft too. Not that I'm concerned about Miami, but I mean they have a complete.
No, they nice. No, you right, Coach.
Right?
You right. Yeah, Curtis Weaver. Ooh, yeah, they did. Ooh, you right, Coach. They got Curtis Weaver late. God. I would have loved that pick 2 for Dallas. But man, no, I still give Dallas A+. Now and at this point, I would say this: Dallas can splurge now. Now Dallas can just get freaky with it. They can get whatever they want from here on. They covered their bases. It's self safety.
And
But
DN.
they can get freaky now. Whatever's super nasty out there, they can go get it. They can go get Moss. They can say, let's just get nasty. What we like now, because they covered. They did the responsible picks are over. Now it's all about getting just whatever you like. So let's I'm gonna look at a couple of options while y'all guys going through it. Ooh, they still got Prince. Is Prince Tager still available? Because he got a grade of 73. He not gone yet.
Looking at this right. Jaguars on the clock.
Okay, so if he's not available, that'll be a freaky pick, a smart pick. Prince want to go from Auburn, a tackle. He's a freak. He's a real good freak. Great swim. Let me see who else will be. Bradley Anai, the guy I said had the 13 sacks. He's still out there. That'll be smooth for us. I would love that pick. Joe Bashy, Michigan State linebacker. I would love that pick.
Unseen footage shot during the 2015-16 season.
Let me see.
Keith Ishmael.
So J.R. Reed, I know is gone.
Shoot, I mean, go get the Fromm kid from Georgia.
The who? Yeah, Fromm. Yeah, Fromm would make sense.
That'd be a good pick, man.
Yeah, that'd be a real
backup
good pick.
for, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that'd be solid. Solid.
Let him and Cooper Rush battle it out. Go ahead, Coach.
Man, I want to give you a shout out for the work you're doing, and I know you're sending this off. I know you're going to hold it down. You're not going to do anything you haven't done, which is only you can go ahead and put it out there. Pissed excellence. So, no, for real, hell of a job with you guys.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
No, but for real, the team has done real well. We've not just as a fan of your own football team, but you've done a real nice analytical job and kept it real regardless of what team it was. Eagles, Miami, Baltimore, a lot of teams we've covered in depth. I'm just fortunate to be out here with you guys. So I'm heading out. I got some pros to train. Those of you that commented in there, great. Follow me on my Coach Higgs training page or on Facebook. I'm on Twitter also at Coach Higgs 12. And one time I'll get a new Cash App that'll come in. But right now, no worries. Let's hit up Boss Man and get a West Coast one. Till then, man. Again, I appreciate you for being on.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Man, killed it, Coach. Good commentary. And the main thing I appreciate about you was your intel about the Redskins. I mean, you gave us good information, and I feel a lot smarter now from conversing with you about, what's going on over there. So I love to know the enemy, and you was very honest and frank about the front office mistakes, but as well as getting it right. So, any way I can get smarter about knowing my division is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And something, not that I'm happy about it, but we talked about, I said, hey, we're probably not even going to get a 3rd round pick for Trent. And what happened? 5th round.
Didn't.
We talked about it, so.
Yep.
That's why you should have traded him earlier. Should have traded him last year. Should have just did it last year.
Said the same thing. They held out, and I said it could burn them, and it did. But, hey, it is what it is, and you guys did the same thing with your team too, knowing your team. So I just know this game of football, and I'm happy to have 2 other guys that know this. Get at me. You know where I'm at. All the fans, thank you very much, and we'll see you.
All right, Coach. You be blessed, man.
Thank you.
Somebody asked me, said, Boss Capital Sports, what do you think about Leakey's defensive end from Michigan State? I definitely love this hustle and this one-on-ones because that's the best I was able to really get my eyes on him. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert at knowing him, but I did see him in the one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl. And I think he's pretty good. I think at this point, it's other defensive ends that are better that's still sitting there like Anai. So I wouldn't even be interested in him until Anai's gone. But at this point of the draft, I would take a flyer on.
All right, there we go. All right, so man, we got the supporter line open. Got a supporter coming in right now. Let me get
call from.
What's up with your Buddha?
What's going on with you guys?
What's up with you, man? What's on your mind, man?
That was killing it, man. Boss was happy, man, when we got Tyler. I seen you dancing.
Marquise Goodwin just went to the Eagles.
Yeah, I was going to yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's 30 years old. He's a burner, bro, but that's it. That's it. He's a one-trick pony. He runs straight.
Yeah.
At 30.
I like Shaheem Carter from the safety from Alabama.
Okay.
You don't like him, boss?
Who?
Say his name one more time.
Shaheem Carter, safety from Alabama.
No, bro. Out on him.
He said no.
And not knocking you, man, because you know we go back and forth on draft stuff all the time. He just not my cup of tea. No, not for me. Not at all to me.
Nah, he said he said Ixnay on the Apixnay.
I wouldn't want him at all.
He said this.
Damn! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
That's what he said. I appreciate it.
Smoke weed every day.
I already know. Yeah, man.
And so so the thing about him I didn't really like is I didn't like his pursuit to the ball. Felt like he played a little bit too prima donna for me at times, especially, you know, you trying to make it to the league, man. You trying to stand out in front of all these top quality Alabama guys. I like guys that really go all out to the ball on defense, and I didn't see that enough out of him. You know, and then he didn't jump off the tape enough at Alabama, just to me. I might be tripping, though. I go take another look at him because I do trust you, Buddha. I do trust you, and you usually very right on. So I'll at least go take another look. And if I change my mind, I'll come on air and say that you was right. You know what I mean? But from my research on him, and I looked at him twice, man, in about 3 games. No, for me. Anybody else though that you hype on that might be still available?
Buddha already hopped off the line. We got a new supporter on the line though. What's up with you, man? Who we got on the line? It's a supporter line. It's open, man. It looks like Fromm just went to Buffalo. Go ahead, Buzz. I got you on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Boss Hog, and also West Coast. What y'all think about Natane Mute, the guard out of Fresno State?
Love it.
The guard. You said the guard out of Fresno State?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point of the draft, if he's still available, because I haven't looked to see if he's still available, but if he's unavailable,
heck yeah,
I would cry at that pick. I would love it.
Yeah,
it's competition. It's competition and backup because you know Zach Martin, man. I love Zach Martin, but you know he's had his moments over these last 2 years.
He's breaking down slowly.
Slowly, though. You know what I'm saying? So the good thing about Zach Martin is it's not happening fastly. So since it's not happening fastly, slide someone in there, build him up. So when it, you know, if and or when it does happen, you're good. You're kind of stuck. Because I'm gonna tell you, if we lose Zach Martin, man, that offensive line is gonna look totally different.
Indeed, I got one more, and I'll let y'all go. And Boss Hog, I was also thinking about Calvin Throckmorton. He was a guard on the right-hand side and played tackle out of Oregon with Shane Lemieux.
Yeah, I like the Shane too.
I mean, it's still some quality tackles out here. I mean, starter grade tackles, believe it or not. You know, with flex, like
I definitely appreciate the
most
love,
people
y'all.
don't know this, man. It sounds like you've definitely done your homework, man. That this is, to me, in my opinion, some people might say different. But this was the best tackle guard combination class that I've ever witnessed, you know, because the first 4 tackles off was just the freaks, but the rest is just quality starters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, man, everything you saying, and I love how you are pinpointing our offensive line, man. You are on point. You need to call in more.
He says, yes, love the buttons and made the show feel more live. I appreciate ya. You going to get you some?
I want me some glory.
There you go. Because, hey, we ain't trying to be this because in the end of the day, in the division, you got to be what?
Ain't first, you're last.
Do you know it? Tony says we need no surprises on Martin. But, I mean, this is the thing. That's a good point. It ain't going to be no surprise because Zach Martin has already been, like, when he came in the league, he had never missed a game. And then, he missed a game in 2018, that Indianapolis game. And then, ever since then, that's when it was kind of highlighted that, slowly, But, I mean, these dudes were a run-based team, man. That means his hands is always getting put out there. His hand, that movement is just kind of being expected. What the Dallas Cowboys got to do now is we got to make sure that we don't waste this offensive line because they're humans. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of being human. You're gonna have injuries. You're gonna have things that are gonna happen, but you don't want a situation like a Tony Romo. And I remember Jerry Jones said it on that one show that they did on Amazon, how he was saying that how much opportunity, his greatest regret was not winning something with Tony Romo. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. His greatest regret is gonna be not winning a Super Bowl with this offensive line because we have been paying a lot of money for an offensive line for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? Our offensive line took up 32% of our cap last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that is the biggest wasted resource in Dallas is them all pros that we didn't have up front. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest waste. So
biggest waste by far.
By far, bro. And it costs you the most money. Your offensive line costs you way more than Dak. Way more. And this is the thing about offensive line. A good offensive line, you don't count them individually. You count them together. You know what I'm saying? Because one good offensive line, ask the New York Giants, don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Will Hernandez just means you're going to be pissed off every game. Why? Because you're going to do your job and the four people beside you going to get blown away. And that's the real reason why Will Hernandez was pissed off at that game when he played the Dallas Cowboys because he was doing his job. The other people beside him was sucking. And I like Will Hernandez. I don't care. You be mad at me. He a dog. If he ever available, I'd go after him.
John Hightower from Boise State. I've been hearing a lot about – I never really got
Fresno.
to watch him.
415 pounds.
Philly got him.
That's
the one I never got.
Was that DeMarcus Lawrence's homeboy he was talking about? Because I know DeMarcus Lawrence said he's saying I got a little partner that's in the draft.
Yeah. So another thing too for those who down on Fromm, because I'm seeing a lot of comments like, man, we missed on Fromm.
Eagles got two wide receivers because they traded for one.
They trying to finally weapon up.
They traded for one and they just drafted one. Because they traded for
So for those who down on Fromm, I just want to kind of encourage you that it's still some good quarterbacks that's sitting out here. Because I had on Fromm a second-round grade. I said he would be good if we picked him at second. Actually, he had a first-round grade, but I said I would target him in round 2 if it was me. But another guy that I think is just as good that a lot of people are sleeping on, if you're bored or you're a film nut, just look up Cole McDonald out of Hawaii. Just look him up. He has some of the best quarterback mechanics, beautiful arm, beautiful throws. And he is right now perfect for a target to be a backup for Dak. That to me, I don't know why people sleeping on him. I think he's probably one of the biggest sleepers in this whole draft, period. Like I said, target him around round 4 and round 5 so we could get him also. And that would be a really, 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 really good upgrade to Cooper Rush. Definitely check him out. He had 4,135 yards, 33 touchdowns. He had 14 interceptions. So he was a little bit too friendly with the football to the other team. That would be the knock on him is he'll go for it. He'll sling that thing. But at the same time, if you want to see beautiful quarterback mechanics, yeah, we still got some options out here for quarterbacks. So don't feel like we out of that. We okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Trying to find out when the Cowboys' next pick.
Our next pick is about 8 more picks.
Yeah.
179. So we 10 more picks away.
So after that pick, that'll be our last pick for the draft for us. We'll be following everything along on our phones. I got like 15 videos I got to make. It's going to be ridiculous. Yeah. Cowboys with 173. You got the Eagles, Titans at 174. Packers and the Vikings. 177 Chiefs, 178 Broncos, 179 Cowboys. Let me see. Let me look at this right there. See what y'all talking about in this comment box. What's up with you, Tony? He says my last pick of the round. Joyce says 179. I see you guys. So look at Baltimore looking like they need edge rushers, guard, defensive tackle, and wide receiver. I still want to see the Dallas Cowboys look at possibly adding another defensive end. I still feel like you need to have.
That would be beautiful. And I'm surprised I'm not still sitting here, man.
And that's the guy with the 13.5 sacks?
Yep. He's sitting there still. He has not been taken. But the Texans up next, and the Texans go likely take him because they also need defensive end. If they don't take him, we taking him. And the good thing is no other team gonna need him but the Texans. So if he get past the Texans, he gonna be a Dallas Cowboy.
Let's see what they do. You don't think the Baltimore look at him or the Baltimore? Because at this round right here, you're looking at priority backups, I would think, right?
It depends on how you see these guys. I would say yeah. Generally, yes. Yes. Because I still think we in the rounds to where you can get you some starters if you very savvy in your shopping, you know. And especially if you really truly picking best player available, it's some guys that's sitting out here that shouldn't be sitting out here. Anash shouldn't be sitting here right now. You know, Anash should be gone. Anash should already be on a plane to his new team.
Yeah, I wonder how they're doing that though. Because I mean, shoot, right now with the coronavirus and everything, I don't think too many people getting on planes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. Probably put him on a bus.
You're crazy. I doubt they even go anywhere right now.
Go send one of the guys out and Uber him to the team. I don't know.
Man,
because generally what would happen after the day is once all these guys are signed, tomorrow you see them at the post conferences. So that's obviously not going to happen in the way that they used to do it. They're going to do it, but it's going to likely be different. It's going to be a virtual post conference some kind of way. But you know, after the draft, they always line up all the guys. They put up their jerseys and they show the drafts off. You know, draft picks. But Dallas, literally, I'm so content right now. I'm so happy right now. I'm like, I literally could stop what I'm not, but because I'm gonna be in this all the way to undrafted free agencies. I want to know everybody we had an opportunity to get and we didn't get. I stayed with it that deep and that long. But in terms of how I feel content wise, bro, I'm super content in what we've done. So, West Coast, what you think of this, man? Like, if we stopped right now the draft and just us saying we going right back into free agency after the draft is over, what would you think that we would probably need to start looking at as targets if we just stop the draft right now?
And you were looking at free agents?
Yeah, going back to free agents.
Shoot, defensive end still?
Okay.
Because I still don't know if if Roger Goodell doesn't know
what's going on with Greg, y'all.
Yeah, I don't. And then not even if they get unsuspended, like you got two dudes that ain't played in you got two dudes between the two of them ain't played in 6-7 years almost. So it's like that's a lot of time, man. That's a lot of hoping and praying. That's a gambling. Obviously, you know. If you would like to think they come back healthy and that they'd be able to come back and contribute, because neither one of them have had injuries, so the only thing that would hurt them really is the fact that they're not in shape or they just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still think I like Dorrance Armstrong. I definitely like Dorrance Armstrong. I actually penciled Dorrance Armstrong in as my starter, but I still want to. I'm not gonna also bet that all three of my suspended guys are going to just come back and just be themselves. Like, that's a lot to gamble on. So I think, you know, a good, you know, I still think, you know, you could probably find a guy out there that could help you at that, but you're going to need somebody that can get you 6 or 7 sacks on that other side. Like, you're going to need that. You know what I'm saying? We went and got Robert Quinn, and that's what when we traded for him in the 6th round pick, like, that's what he was coming from Miami. He had 6 sacks. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting us 10.5. You know what I'm saying? So you do need at least a guy who can commit to getting 6 sacks on that other side. So, I mean, I still think that right defensive end is still your most important, and it helps DeMarcus. You know, DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get double teamed so much. You need somebody that has to be able to take advantage of that, or he's just getting double teamed and you're not getting nothing from it. Like, when someone's getting double teamed, that means you should have an extra defender free. That means somebody should be getting to the quarterback. That's just sheer numbers. Like, you tell people Yeah, he got a gang of sacks because DeMarcus Lawrence was double teamed. They'd be like, no, that doesn't even make no sense. I'm like, yeah, it does. There's only 11 people on the field. So if he has 2, that means there's 1 extra person available. And guess what he's doing? Sacking the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it works. And it's like DeMarcus Lawrence is always going to get double teamed. You know what I'm saying? So since he's always going to get double teamed, I need somebody who could take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? So, I want some talent there. I don't want to just let that go to waste. You know what I'm saying? Worst thing in the world is for DeMarcus Lawrence to be over there getting double teamed, and I'm not getting no pressure on the other side because guess what? That means the offense is pretty much doing whatever they want to do, at least from right there. So, I mean, that's what I think. But the Cowboys have been doing really, really good at, like, trading, for these late-round vets. Like, I'm pretty sure if we look out there, there's some Robert Quinn-ish guy that's on a team, might be a little bit older, who got 5 sacks last year, and, Cowboys trade him, flip him a 6, and might bring him in and have another Quinn situation. I think that might be a good look, too. I actually,
I got this, man. I got
you know what? I just actually sold myself on that. Cowboys should do that. I think they should do that. And Coach's guy just got drafted to the Texans. The kid from Rhode Island. But yeah, I definitely think they should. I think they should see what they should go out there and see what you can get me for a 5th or 6th round pick for a guy who had, who's older guy, who's, find me one of those guys because we've been doing really good with those guys.
Yeah, somebody asked me a trigonometry question. Marcus Jones said, "Boss Cowboy Sports."
Appreciate you, Tyrone Church.
Boss Cowboy Sports, this might be early, but have you had a chance to look at who's been drafted and what players from other teams that maybe cut or trade options who could benefit us? Yeah, too early for me. I'm being honest with you. No, it's just because I want to get through the draft first. Then I'm going to want to digest our players first. And then after I digest our players first and really thoroughly scrub those guys, likely I'm going to start looking at the division and see what the division has done first and see how we compare to that. And then after that, I'm going to likely then circle back around and see what opportunities might be available from teams that might have overstocked during the draft. But that's a very good question and very smart to do. Like if I had an analytics team, I would assign that to them immediately as soon as the draft was over with and the free agents was available, is to try to see what teams are likely overstocked. So, we could say, okay, these are guys that will probably be deals because they drafted too much at a certain area, right? So, no, that's a real good question. And a couple of things, West Coast, would that be it, defensive end, or would it be something else that you would probably look at?
Linebacker.
At the end of the draft? Linebacker. Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you remember you also got Luke Gilliford out there. He couldn't keep his arms, he was, he got hurt in that San Francisco 49er game. Then he got hurt again when he came back. Those type of guys always kind of scare me. It reminds me of Church. But he's a good kid too. He's a linebacker on our team too. Guy we don't talk about a lot. But yeah, I think you're gonna probably see that too. These positions that they don't draft heavily in the draft, you're probably gonna see in the UDFs. You're gonna see like 3 or 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? So that you can just, So you can just throw numbers at them instead of throwing one person. They're just gonna throw numbers at it. You know what I'm saying? And between them numbers, somebody gonna stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love Marcus Jones. Marcus, I'm loving you. See, Marcus, he on it, man. This is a real scout. So he asked that trigonometry question, then he came back with a great answer. And this is what makes you a scout when you do stuff like this. Because the thing that West Coast and I hate to do is we hate to talk about problems without solutions. Marcus is already talking about solutions. He said, off the top of my head, Baltimore has drafted a bunch of DTs and linebackers. If we need those spots, that's where I will start. See, I love that, Marcus. That's what I'm talking about. So he's already identified at least one team that would be a person or a team that we can get on the phone with and try to get some assets to help us do some trade stuff or just see whatever we can work out. See, I love it. That's why I love scouts, serious Cowboy fans out there Uncover Truth, because they putting real thought in this. Nobody is engaged like Dallas Cowboy fans. Nobody had the best debates like us. And we all debate, but we trying to debate for a solution. I love it, Marcus. Excellent idea. And if you think any more, or if y'all think any more, put it out there because that's a good article. I'll write an article about that. It's like, what did the draft actually do in terms of opening up continued opportunities for the Dallas Cowboys. Because to Marcus' point, most people think after the draft you're done. No, we still got 100 people we got to have for camp just to practice. So we still got some shopping to do. We still got a lot of talking to do, and we still got a lot of needs to fill. So, so it's gonna take thought like that. It's gonna take combing and scrubbing the ground, trying to find the leads that can get us great players. Great thought, Marcus. I think that's the thought of the day.
Marcus, it was a good comment, but he liked your name too. Keep it 100.
No, ain't it. Ain't it at all. Marcus been killing it, man. He been killing it. Like,
Mark,
you can tell a draft head. He's a draft head. He's a personnel head. Like, a couple of times he got it wrong. He punched me in my nose a couple of times when I missed it a little bit or might have been a little bit off, but he's on it. He's the kind of guy that's actually invested. You can just tell he's looking up and just as invested as we are. Because his knowledge is sound.
Again. We are 4 picks away. We're 179, so we're 6 picks away.
Yeah, and I'm done keeping up for right now because my tracker's acting up. So I'm not going to be able to stay real time on what's available after this. So I'm gonna start, shooting that fish in the barrel right now after this. But we're gonna have a couple of picks left anyway. So, maybe no picks unless we start giving away next year picks to try to do some stuff in the 6th round. But I doubt that altogether. So I think you're right. Defensive end, if the draft ended right now, would be something that we need to still play with, try to solve that problem. Linebacker, I would agree. I still think we need more competition in the safety room. I'm still concerned about left guard. I don't feel confident in left guard at all. At all. I like that we had a center, but at least we got 3 pieces now that can compete with Looney. If Tyler end up taking over for the center, then Looney can play the guard. Then McGovern then can play the guard. And then we've already witnessed Connor Williams play the guard. And he played okay. I think he made too many mistakes, too many holding penalties. And then sometimes you can see the lack of his strength. But we were still an okay team with him. And then hopefully going into year 3, he'll be fine. But I still think he's a Band-Aid. If we end up some kind of way giving him a whole nother year to play and he's what he was as a sophomore, we need to move on from Connor Williams. That need to be it.
Bruh.
Dreaming like he's what he's not.
I'm just amazed at the lives that some folks get and the lives that some folks don't get. So
yeah, Philly got Godwin. Philly got Godwin, but I don't care.
Hey, Thaddeus Moss is still on the board?
Not targeted.
Thaddeus Moss is still on the board?
Yeah, he's still on the board. Thaddeus is on the board.
Interesting.
I would love Thaddeus.
Interesting.
Thaddeus would be solid. And y'all owe his dad at Dallas. Y'all owe him. This is the target where you get Thaddeus. Thaddeus is risky though because he didn't have a combine, and I've always been kind of concerned of what his real measurables are. But in terms of how he plays, don't you want to?
He's a baller.
He's a baller.
He's a baller.
Yeah,
he's a baller.
He didn't drop one ball the whole season.
Yeah.
That's Chris Carter-ish. That's Larry Fitzgerald-ish.
That's right. That's his daddy-ish. What you mean?
Yeah. That's a guy that's been catching tennis balls since he was 2 years old. I mean, this is where you do that. This is where you pick up Moss. But actually, I would take a knot right here, to be honest. And I can understand why Moss is dropping. Like, you got to get a guy's measurables or you taking a big chance. That's why I knew guys that didn't really go to the combine and this corona kind of ate up their pro days.
Wasn't good for them.
I would take Mute right here, man.
Hey, that's why. That's why I was saying. What was I saying about Moss? I was saying Moss should have stayed. He should have stayed in college. If he stays in college, he's probably a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
He stays in college. He's easily with LSU and what they're going to be on TV all the time. he would have been a first-round pick, easily a second-round pick. No later than a second-round pick.
And JD said Thaddeus would be on the 7. You right. I would be still because I would either target in the 7 Sullivan or Thaddeus. Those would be my both of them LSU tight ends.
That's why I kept saying he shouldn't come out. Man, I kept saying that, boss. I was like, man, he shouldn't come out. He should wait till next year. Because you can't do the combine. It made no sense. You knew you could, like, bro, you don't know the day before the combine you ain't going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you knew you weren't going to be able to do it, so you shouldn't have even, like, bro, he shouldn't have came out. Now you're gonna be a 5th, 6th rounder. Shouldn't have came out.
Yeah, but if we come out with Thaddeus or if we come out with Sullivan, we killed it. I'm literally go.
Don't be surprised if New England takes New England, because I think now at this round, we ain't gonna say it, but I think at this round, Randy Moss' daddy picking up phones. And he thinking about them good relationship teams he probably got. I'm thinking New England. Don't be surprised if New England is in a play for Thaddeus Moss. That's a New England Patriot type move.
I would want to go to New England. I would want to go to New England.
You said you would or you wouldn't?
I would.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because, see, New England is going to play the best man. It ain't going to be no politics there.
Yep.
The fact that they signed a cornerback off the street, man, and he ended up coming to highest paid cornerback shows you that they don't have no politics in that organization. They ain't got no favorites and sons. And just thankful to God that we don't either now. I think those days are over for us as well. I really pray that it is. I think it is. Man, my draft tracker's trick. I can't see what's going on, y'all. My draft tracker is messing up. I think it's the NFL tracker is acting up. I can't see what's happening. So y'all gonna have to kind of put in the comments kind of who's being picked so that I can make a couple of more good indicators of who Dallas is likely to do. And that's one of the things that make the show pop.
Hey, man, shout out to the parents, man, because I'm up here just like,
boy, that boy Anthony answered some good questions. Go ahead, West Coast. I'm sorry.
Just looking at these parents, man, that has to just be a good feeling, man. Just like all them, because I just be thinking about like all them practices and stuff I be taking my kids to, and just knowing all that, just quantifying, you know what I'm saying, by them being selected. It's just a crazy process, man. So salute to the parents, man, because y'all don't understand, man, how much money and cell phone bills. Like, I paid my little brother's cell phone bill up till he's 24 years old. Why? Because he was trying to make it in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, salute to all the parents. Salute to all the support systems that help these kids get to this point. Because, I mean, the kids have the easiest job, and that's just go on the field. You know what I'm saying? Someone else got to pay them rent. Someone else got to keep them cards. Somebody else put shoes in the – you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, boss? Like, you're basically taking care of someone until they get selected. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So salute to the parents, man.
Yeah, Anthony asked a hell of a question. He said, Boss Cowboy, with no politics, what does our secondary look like?
Starting?
Yeah, like what should it look like right now?
I just do just starters, no explanation, just names, straight names. If I had to do straight names, no explanation, I would have Cheetah Bay, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, corners. And then back safeties, I would have Ha as the strong, and I have Donovan Wilson as a free. I got two people in my, I know y'all mad at Anthony Brown, but whatever. And I know he's mad at me because he wants to play free safety, but whatever. Those are mine.
Got you. What my starting corners look like right now, with no politics, I'm playing Diggs at the left corner. I'm playing Jordan Lewis as a starting right corner. Yeah, those are my two starting corners. Now, if it's nickel, what I'm doing is I'm rotating Lewis in the middle to take the slot, and then I'm putting Awuzie to take the outside corner. Those are my starting corners. My safeties right now that's starting will obviously be high at the free.
You gonna give him the free?
I'm giving them the free.
You gonna give him a chance? You gonna give him a chance at it? That's nice. That's nice of you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got too much pro film on him to think he not.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what Ha is. So I would start Ha now. He's coming in as a starter. We pay for him to be the starter. I'm not gonna play like he hasn't put up good tape. Way better than all the safety that's been here. I think who I would have to start right now is Thompson and Strong, but then I'm also have Donovan Wilson getting his reps so I can see if he's better.
So are we both in agreement? So are we both in agreement that Xavier Woods should be on the Pine this year?
Super agreement.
All right.
Like absolutely without a doubt. I'm not even
like we can switch the names everywhere else. And if you guys notice, I didn't do the nickel, but obviously I would have, my nickel would probably be Diggs and Browns rotating. But we can both agree that Xavier Woods should be on the Pine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we should also agree that Jordan Lewis should be starting corner.
Yeah.
Because see, I'm sick of this.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. We both. Yeah. Yep.
See, because like he's the only guy that plays good and gets and is benched because of nothing that has nothing to do with the field. Right. The other guys are benched because of stuff they've done on the field. Like Owuze, when he was benched, it was because he was missing tackles or missed a tackle, not tackles. Because I'm not gonna say that about. He just missed one tackle and he got one catch on him by JJ. From Stanford with Philly, and then they pulled him. Right, the same guy that was still playing the game with Jordan Lewis. He was never pulled, never. So you start him. He never was benched because of play ever. Anthony Brown was benched twice because of play. So if we are a fair organization that is run based on merit, right? And what have you done on the field? You have to at least start Jordan Lewis, and then somebody go just have to take his spot from great play. But to me, he got to be one of the starting corners right now. Right now. So maybe Diggs and Owuze can battle it out, but if we just start Owuze and then we treat Jordan Lewis like, well, and we start giving him them Chris Rashad excuses like he just doesn't have the right height and all that BS again. It's like, bro, he already showed you that height has nothing to do with his dog demeanor and his sure tackling and his great coverage. He got cooked a little bit with Cole Beasley, but Cole Beasley cooked everybody.
Absolutely, man. So, man, I got Miss Tony's supporter calling in. Let's see what she's talking about. How you doing?
Hey, Dub C, it's Tony. I want to know what you guys think about the quarterback position. Are they going to try to draft one this late, or are they just messing with Dak to try to push him?
That's a good question. Shoot, I appreciate it. That's actually a really good question, something we ain't even talked about. I'm going to let you go, but that's a really going to talk about that right now. That's a good question.
Yeah, I would say that they should still draft a quarterback. Maybe that's not priority because there's still good guys out there that should supersede that, like Anah, who's still sitting there. As far as I know, I can't see the tracker right now.
Are they still messing with Dak? So we can all agree that they're messing with Dak, all right? So we can all agree.
And right now they're not messing with Dak.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, we can all agree that this hasn't been business. This has all been them messing or doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, because see, right now, if they draft no quarterback, then they basically gave all leverage to Dak.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, what they're really saying in this is
we trust Dak.
That we trust Dak.
Yep. Like, right now, the draft that they have right now is saying that Dak is our quarterback.
And you know what it also says, too? It also lets you know that the only reason why Dak Prescott is not signed is because of the Joneses. Because their actions show that they actually trust
This
trust
is showing they trust him.
That they trust him. And that they want him to be the franchise quarterback. So what it's all come down to is they don't want to pay him.
That's what it is. It's showing that it's always been about the money, never about his play.
Yeah.
So
Dallas on the clock. Dallas on the clock. It's the last one. Here we go.
Come on, D. Y'all hit this share button. Let's catch this in history. Because every one of these we do, we go back and we go recap this moment. So make sure y'all hit that share button. Y'all go to our pages and hit that like button. Follow us, all that good stuff. But share this moment. Right before Dallas picks, we always want to get the moment.
So let's see if the Cowboys go get this defensive end. Is that Brady James? Who's that?
Yep. Catherine said it. It's the money. Yep. It's all about the money, and Dallas itself is in a hard position too. I gotta also just be honest about that. See, Dallas has been winning on their players by signing all of these long-term contracts. Those 6-year contracts are horrible contracts for the players. And I'm gonna keep saying this story till it come home to a lot of us. Remember the deal with Pippen in his new documentary is that he burned himself by signing a 7-year contract. And it was right before new television deals. Don't that sound familiar? Who's getting ready to do new television deals? The NFL, right? So they recalculated and they said if Pippen would have broke up his contract into smaller portions, he would have made $90 million in that same period where he made $18 million. So, I mean, but then at the same time, Dallas has been winning on these contracts by doing that. So if they allow Dak to break that precedent,
Decker, come on, Dak.
Then that means it's almost like the Matrix. You don't want too many of the people start waking up. You go destroy the Matrix.
Yeah.
You only want a few to wake up at the time.
Hey, we're gonna all agree this, right? After this pick right here, if the Cowboys don't pick a pick, if they don't draft a quarterback at this 5th round pick right here, considering Dak was a 4th round pick, and the free agent, we're just gonna. I need all you guys to just accept that Dak is gonna be your quarterback for 2020. And it should no longer be about tearing your quarterback down. It should be trying about finding ways on why he's not signed and when is he going to get signed and trying to put energy into that. And we took a defensive end. We took an eye. Good job. We both called it. Good job. We got him. Good job. Good job. Hey, you know what's crazy, boss? You asked me the position. I gave you the position. I asked you the name. You gave me the name. Say, bruh. Say, bruh. Hey, say, bruh. Hey, let me get a dap. Let me get a dap. Hey, boss. Let me get a dap through the camera. Let me get a dap through the camera. Hey, you asked me the position. I said I gave you the position we was gonna take. Then I said, hey, give me a player. You gave me the exact player. That's teamwork, baby. Teamwork makes the dream work. Appreciate you, man.
Man, we hit a nine, boy. God.
Cowboys killed this draft, man. Cowboys killed this draft. Hey, man. Hey, I need y'all to do this one right here, right? If you believe the Dallas Cowboys killed this draft, if you believe the Cowboys killed this draft, I need you to go right now, and I need you to go down there, and I need you to share so that everybody else will know, because there's some people in there that's saying that this is crazy. Hey, I need everybody to
some glory.
Everybody go in there and share. God. I need everybody to go share.
We will win. Win is the name of the game.
Tell them again, Jerry.
We must win. We will win. Win is the name of the
game. Hey, boss, this is what we did to the draft. This is what we did.
It's tricky, bro. Go ahead.
This is what we did to the draft.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
Bro.
That's what we did to the draft.
Man, and if anybody don't agree, they smoke.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you like this, man.
That's the only way you don't like this draft.
This draft is so fun.
Every day. That's the only way you don't like this draft,
man. Hey, boss. Jerry Jones walking at the draft talking about this.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
Boy, on this. Like
he shit all on this draft, boy. Yeah.
He's straining everything.
Jerry Jones came out the bathroom
like a king. Like, look at my people. What's for me?
Hey, Jerry Jones came up out the bathroom like this,
man.
He came out the bathroom like
don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
Bro, I dare anybody go look at a Nah in the Senior Bowl and go watch a Nah versus the best tackles. Man, you know the first time I saw a Nah, bro, you know what I was doing? And I always say this. I love the players that you spot when you're not even looking at them. You know the first time I saw a Nah? When I was scouting a tackle who was drafted, I think, in the 1st round from USC. And I was looking at him, and I said, damn, that dude put a major spin move on him. Like, God, right? And it was Utah versus USC, and I saw it twice. And then as I started scouting my favorite tackles, I was seeing a Nah killing them. And you know what I put in my draft guide? I said a Nah basically killed all the top tackles. The only thing that knocked a Nah was his 40. That was it.
Yeah, he
got 13.5 sacks. He got pretty decent weight. He got a great bench. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: get out of Nye.
Beast.
You go get you some damn good pass rush moves out of him, bro.
He's a beast.
He's a beast, and he destroyed the Senior Bowl. Just go watch the Senior Bowl. That's all you got to do. If you don't do none of the scouting that I did and all the research that I did, just go watch the Senior Bowl, and he destroyed it, bro. He took it over.
Yeah, and he do that. He do that. Hey, he do that. Hey, he had them boy. Hey, let me tell you. I went to go see. They doing it right now. They doing it right now, right? So I went to go see my little cousin. Man, my little cousin played for Stanford, right? And I went to go see them play at they were up in I forget where they Polyville, wherever they that's UCLA, but wherever they play in up there in the upstate, right? These dudes come out, bruh. They had them dudes doing that because he's a Polynesian. And bro, that's the game right there, bro. These dudes on Stanford,
these Polynesians,
on Stanford's, bro. That's the game right there. On Stanford's field, they start doing that haiku, bruh. I was like, this game. I looked at my mom and I was like, say, hey, I mean, look. I looked at my mom and I was like, this gonna be a long game. This gonna be a long game. This dude is an attitude dude. He's a dude. He's a very, you know what I'm saying, really, you know what I'm saying. This dude, this is a good. Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a real good pick.
He's just a baller, man.
And you're getting a 2-year captain.
2-year captain. Time in his arm length.
He's a 2-year captain. That means a captain is junior and senior year. 2-year captain at the defensive end position. So you know what that means? That means he was 13.5 sacks, man. And that's moving, man.
And then you know, look, man, we go pat ourselves on the back. I don't give a damn if y'all.
It's a damn good pick.
For the last 2 picks, we was talking at the same time of what was getting ready to happen. We both said with Tyler, right? We was talking about what was the problem, center.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, dead on point.
Oh my
God. We was literally
Cowboys
talking about not trusting McGovern when we got Tyler. Right before this pick, we was talking about what was the most important thing if we had to get a free agent right now. And the first thing you said was defensive end, because we don't know what's going on with, you know, the suspensions with Gregory, you know? And so, listen, like, sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back, not to brag, but to say this is why you should trust us. Because obviously we know the team and we love this. This was indication today of why y'all should be subscribing and sharing us, because we're not going to make y'all look bad. If y'all say tune in, and sometimes we go get it wrong, but this is one thing you going to know for sure, that we at least gave it thought and we researched it. That's one thing you go get from doing shows with us and listening to shows with us. Because, I mean, it happened twice in a row, and it happened at the bottom of the draft. It's easier to get the picks right at the top of the draft, right? But we getting it right at the bottom of the draft. How many people that you listening to right now are perfectly in tune on the Cowboys' needs all the way down to the bottom of the draft?
Yeah, this is a dang good pick.
So, you know, like, y'all stay with us, man, and y'all share this product. And this is why y'all got to stay true to the underground. You know, you got to stay true to where the people that really know the team, love the team, eat, sleep, and drink the team. Because a lot of people might have better, you know, exposure. But West Coast and I, man, I would say, man, we really dug in deep on this, man, you know. And guess what? It's just the beginning, because we go get better. You know, we go get way better. We got a lot of stuff that's coming. So y'all stay with us. I know West Coast got to go because that was it. But, you know, round 7 go be good too, and we both go be putting out information on our pages as well. So the show is getting ready to be over, but the draft is not gonna be over till it's over, and it's really gonna be over by truly late tonight when they're done with the undrafted free agents.
Yeah, the draft officially is over at 4 p.m. out here, so that's they still maybe got like another 3 hours I think left.
Yeah, so we got some time, and then y'all gonna be seeing us post. You ain't gonna see us on the show. But trust me, we got our eyes on the phones. We got our eyes on the boards. We're going to be still deep into this all the way down into past undrafted free agents, because it's still some good stuff that's out there, like Thaddeus Mouse Sullivan.
Thaddeus is still on there. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I said he should not have came out. What did I say, boss? No matter where he go, I said, bruh, he shouldn't have came out this year, man. This was not the year. He shouldn't have came out this year, man.
I feel sorry for him. And then honestly, what hurt him was the ooey Coronasaurus Rex.
Because he had nothing. He couldn't do nothing.
He couldn't do anything. So it's like, and I said the end of the draft is going to be risky on teams because how do you measure these dudes? You couldn't. So some of these guys that's being picked is being picked because they're safer, not necessarily because they're better.
Yeah, and then think about this, boss. Now the draft is actually working against you because if you're a guy, if you're say a guy like Thaddeus Moss, a team is like, why draft you? I can just get you an undrafted free agent now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thanks for sharing too, man, and thanks for everybody that put in the tip jar. I looked at my cash out, man. Y'all exploded my cash today. I appreciate that.
Man, I mean, anything can happen with his career, but I knew it, man. I knew it. I was like, man, he should not come out, man. He shouldn't come out.
Yeah, and at this point, he will have to do it. But the good thing about him is, first of all, we know he's well off because he's a mouse, right?
Fact.
So then another thing too is also we know he's going to get a chance because he's a mouse. You know,
somebody gonna give him an opportunity.
Somebody go put him on the field and say, okay, you'll get your preseason snap. So he just not gonna get paid now. He gonna have to earn it the hard way. You know, he gonna have to earn it by doing it on the field. He not gonna be living that baller life right now. But to a degree, he's already experienced it because of his dad. You know, and I think Moss is gonna be okay. And Moss shows you the ugly side of football. That some of this is not even just based on talent. Right, Mouse shows that, right? Wouldn't you say that's for West Coast?
Yeah,
that Mouse shows that there's a lot of times where you drafted is not always about your talent. Sometimes it's about luck, timing, and circumstance. Because Mouse being this low is more so about timing and circumstances, and people not knowing the situation is on him to know how to properly grade him.
Yeah, he should have stayed in the next man.
And good point, JD. If he makes it past the 7th round, he gets to pick his situation, which is even better for Mr. Moss.
Well, technically, he's going to go back into a pool, and then the undrafted free agency, and then go into the waivers and stuff like that. So, you know, he does, but it's still gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's still gonna be weighted on the teams.
It suck.
Yeah,
you know, it sucks.
That's not the way you want to do it, though. That's
you don't
because the money is extremely different. You're talking like $40,000.
Yeah, but he can possibly make up for it if he go to the right situation. Because what would hurt a person like him even worse if you went to a place and was drafted to a place where they already preset on tight ends. You don't want to go to a place like the Raiders.
Right now, you just want to get drafted
in the building. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go nowhere where Witten is in the building. No, because Witten is going to always lobby for himself to play, even if you're better than him.
Dang.
You know, so you want to be able to control as much as possible your own destination. So I would, if I'm him, I'll forsake that 40 to be able to pick a location, because then at that point, shoot, come to Dallas. If I'm him, I'm gonna say shit. Who is my competition in Dallas? Schultz. Oh, I'm going.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. If I'm gonna put it to you like this: if he does not get drafted, that's when his daddy is going to come into play and pick up a phone and call a friend. That's what's gonna happen. Like, I don't care.
And I want him in Dallas. I mean, if he's an undrafted free agent, man, I mean, that is coming here day one as a solid threat and upgrade easily, without a doubt, without even thought to Schultz. Without thought. It's not even half a thought. It's automatic upgrade.
Yeah, I think somebody in upper management like Schultz, though, because he didn't last the coach. If Schultz make it past this year, Jerry Jones is the one. Like,
good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because Schultz didn't lasted two offensive coordinators. He done made it through two offensive coordinators. Jerry Jones himself made that pick.
I'm almost certain he not gonna make it because the film don't lie.
You would think he wouldn't.
When you got more penalties than you got plays made, you should have been cut. Same thing with Noah Brown. Like, I know a lot of people saying, what's going to happen with Noah Brown? Like, this,
he still has 1 year left on his contract.
He gone. Like, and he's going to have to make it right now. Noah Brown's season is getting ready to be training camp. That's his whole season. He got to show that he's worth it in trade. He's not going to get that Garrett favor anymore. He's not going to get that, well, we like him stuff. Let's just keep him around stuff. Let's just keep him. No, not with McCarthy. McCarthy's getting ready to be like, no, bro, if you're no asset to this team, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the fact that you don't have no tape, bruh. You don't have no tape.
No tape.
You have no tape.
And then the tape you got, you falling and clumsy. Let's just be honest. Like, I love Noah Brown as a blocker, but damn, every time
That's
the ball
not a good trait
he failed.
That's not something to love a wide receiver for. If you love a wide receiver because he good blocker,
Noah Brown can do what Dez does. Hell no.
No.
Come on, man. No, Dez would go get the ball and was acrobatic in the air. Every time the ball was in the air, almost Noah failed. It's one of those guys that freeze under pressure. Some people like make it look easy. Dez is the guy that would go get hard contested catches and be like, "Oh, that was easy," hit that was easy button, But no, bro. So all the good old boys and the Suns, that's over with. So that would make it real good for Thaddeus. Like, I hope
took a
chance.
Right
so like
we
how
took
we
a chance
talking about Thaddeus right now, I hope in about 4 hours, me and you right on that again, like we was right on a knot and right on Tyler.
Hey, we did it with Larry Allen's son last year though. Remember Larry Allen? Remember Larry Allen was super too small, and we was all like, we hope I even made a videotape. That Larry Allen, his son made it through 2 days, like 2 days, but he got a shot though.
Yeah, and see, if you give Thaddeus that shot here, he gonna make the team. He gonna make the roster, and he gonna make plays. But to be honest, I would take Sullivan over Thaddeus. Yes, I said it. I would take Sullivan over Thaddeus right now. If I had the draft, I would take Sullivan. Because, see, I know that he runs a 4.6. I know what he can do at tight end. I saw him block. I know that he was playing the X receiver the year before as a junior. I know he only needs 10 more pounds to be a freak, to be a super freak, to be exactly what McCarthy wants, a receiver that can stretch the field. I dare y'all to go look at Sullivan in the Senior Bowl in those one-on-ones. You go come back and be like, boss, this guy not drafted? And be like, nope. And he should be. And I would love him to be, and he would fit Dallas to a T. Perfectly a McCarthy type, because McCarthy likes those athletic, vertical tight ends. And then one more thing. I'm starting to lose my voice, man. I got so excited over them last 2 picks. And I'm going to post this today, man. No, I might not post this. Sullivan is like a Jamarcus Finley, man. That's who I envision him being able to become. I envision him. I see him as that much of an asset, to where Jamarcus, everybody knew, was a 4th rounder, maybe even a 5th rounder. But when you saw him play, you would have thought he was a top 10 pick. I think that's Sullivan. I really do. So y'all look him up. Look him up. See if I'm crazy. Go look him up. Especially his Senior Bowl. You could be like, yeah, I don't see how this guy's not drafted. The only reason he not, in my opinion, is because he was playing under Moss, and he didn't have a lot of reps at tight end. But when they called him to play the tight end, the beautiful thing is he was making all his catches, and he made a ton of catches as a receiver with LSU. So that's an athletic tight end. So, and the Texans, they've done that before. They've taken ex receivers, converted them to tight ends, and they are great assets for Deshaun Watson right now. We can do the exact same thing with Sullivan.
Yeah, man, that's an excellent point. Shoot, man, I'm gonna wrap it up for a little bit, man. This has been your 2020 draft experience. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in for us. Tomorrow Saturday, tomorrow Sunday, we're gonna do a complete go through all the players that we got drafted, kind of give each person their own little 10, 15, about their own little 5 to 10 minutes, moments of shine. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we'll be doing the complete breakdown of the draft and kind of giving some grades. It's gonna have a real good time. So make sure you guys tune in. If we have anything that breaks between now and then, we'll definitely be on here. You guys already know we try to get it on here as often as possible. But Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, Boss Cowboy Sports, and I did break an article out this morning. Probably too late now because I was talking about who's available, but I did put some guys on there if y'all want to kind of check that. It'll be a hindsight type of thing now. And y'all take a look at my page, because I'm going to be putting more and more stuff about what our thoughts on this draft, how to measure it, and I'm going to start quickly going into what our competitors have done. Because I love our draft, but what's most importantly is that we're going to have to look at Philly. I want to take a real deep dive into Philly, a real deep dive into the Jets, I'm sorry, the Giants and the Redskins, because we first trying to do what? Get in a tournament. And the best way to get in a tournament is to win your division. So it's not going to be just Cowboy information. I also want to break out some information and articles on what did our competitors do. And I'm going to tell you right now, just from already what I'm seeing, the Giants did real damn good, and we got to keep our eyes open for them.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And my boy Bobby says, Dallas Cowboys Scout and Boss Cowboy is the best. I appreciate you. Joe says, great show, guys. I've had fun watching you guys for 3 days. Safe Cowboy Nation. You already know it, man. It has been 3 days, man. It looks like we put in 4 hours worth of it's 4 hours right now, and we did 5 hours and 5 hours. So that's 14, rounded up about 15 hours worth of draft coverage during 3 days. So salute, boss. Salute you guys for watching these.
My brother.
Hey, salute to them scouts. I know some scouts like that was here the whole entire time. I appreciate you guys. I ain't going to name no name because I know I'm going to forget one, and then y'all going to blow my comment box up. But I'm going to just tell you, for y'all that was here like the whole entire time, y'all some real MF and Cowboy fans, man. Be goddamn proud of yourselves. Y'all deserve the season. So we're going to fight for it. Y'all already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.